2.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this beautiful Wednesday, June 14th. It is an early episode. Yes. And actually, we plan on, I'll be doing my best, actually, despite our historical trend of doing terrible shows, that I do believe today should be good. I think it'll be good.
Don't overpromise.
Today's episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Thank you. The reason that we're starting early today is because Pearl Davis, just Pearly Things as she's known on the internet, will be calling in today to have a civil and lovely discussion with me. And she's in the UK, so this was the best kind of compromise we could put together time-wise, and I appreciate her, making the effort at least to give us a reasonable time to get on the call. So that's going to be happening like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
At 11.
And yes, and so I look forward to that. Just a few quick announcements with the time I've got. The subreddit is back up. We're back, people. We're back, baby. What happened? Why is this sad music? I thought it was happy. Why is Tucker here with zombie eyes? We're so back?
Honestly, I missed it.
I did too.
I was bored.
Where's the subreddit?
Yup.
Zach. Zach is... Oh, come on, Zach. It's okay. Zach, it's okay. We all... Okay. He's having a hard morning. Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, wow.
We'll get through this together. We are a family.
His baba's in the microwave. It'll be out in a minute.
The Baba.
His
yeah.
baba.
You know, they all turn on us at times, Zach, but we'll get through this together. Yeah. Well,
Appreciate that.
yeah, we got you. Everybody be nice to Zach today on the subreddit, please. AB, on the other hand? No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I missed it.
I did too. I
I'm with them.
did, yeah. There's a lot going on there. Let's be real.
Those cheeky bastards.
Oh, do me a favor and hit that new Trump soundbite that just dropped.
They did everything right and they indicted me.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
They indicted me.
It's so legendary.
Indicted me.
Did everything right and they indicted me.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
I walked in and everyone was
We're screaming.
turned
The
into
whole
like
room was screaming.
pirate Trump.
He sounds like
Yeah.
a pirate
He sounds
captain,
like
dude.
a pirate.
Someone give that man a hook.
Walk the plank, They indict
raided
me.
Mar-a-Lago.
They indicted my ship. Just say
A great storm this way comes. A stormy Daniel.
They indicted me. I plundered those documents fair and square by the pirate code.
I buried me treasure on Epstein's Island.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so let's see. A quick shout out, I guess, to the Brick Chef. Well, that looks great.
The Brick Chef.
That's when you take a step back. This is the dude who makes all these really beautiful custom Lego pieces, right?
Yeah, to point out, this is Lego, because I was unclear at first, just looking at the front.
Lego bits.
Yeah, these are all Lego bits. If you turn around, you can see the entire thing's Lego.
He's got a huge
dope.
TikTok following.
Yo,
Shout out.
this guy's a celeb in your world, huh, Zach?
Yeah, his name's Ethan. So.
What a guy.
Unfortunate.
What a guy.
I know him.
But yeah,
Ethan.
he's got a really fun Lego TikTok. So huge shout out to him.
The Lego Chef. Thank you, bro. She's in the lobby. Great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to thank our sponsor, ExpressVPN, and then I'm just going to get right into it with Pearl. And I look forward to that. So let me thank our one sponsor real fast, ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN. For sailing the high sea.
Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like passing a note in class and having the teacher read it aloud to everybody.
Oof,
Oh,
that's the
golly.
Oh, God.
Cringe.
Nightmare mode.
And it's like, is it Mrs. Miss Hot? And she has to read that? Bad times. Yeah, why does everyone need a VPN? That's a good question. Internet service providers know every single website you visit. And ISPs can sell this information to ad companies and tech giants who then use your data to target you. Excuse me?
What?
F that, bro.
What?
Why should you use all different security threats? Why use ExpressVPN? Well, let's see. ExpressVPN reroutes your network data through a secure encrypted tunnel so your ISP cannot see or sell any of your online activity. Stick it to the man. Super simple to use. Fire it up. Click the one button in the app, and bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. Rated #1 by CNET and Tech Radar, ExpressVPN is widely known to be the best one, the premier one. You know, it works on phones, laptops, and even you can put it on your router so that everybody on the Wi-Fi is protected. I like ExpressVPN. I mean, listen, having a VPN is pretty useful if you need to, if you're using a service or, yeah, and you needed to think that you're connecting from a different geolocation. It can be very useful if you're on streaming services or websites that are only accessible to certain countries, like if England or Japan or whatever.
Oh, monsieur.
Or France. Use the VPN to get access to that content, like Netflix UK, Netflix Japan. It's got all different content. Super awesome. Yeah, it works. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it works.
It's just it works, and it's the best one. It's the best one in the game, and they got a great offer here. Check this out. Protect your online privacy by visiting expressvpn.com/h3 today. That's expressvpn.com/h3, and you'll get an extra 3 months for free.
Whoa.
That's right, 3 months for free at expressvpn.com/h3. Thank you to our lovely sponsor. Please consider supporting them if you're in the market for a VPN. Thank you. All right, so
Thank you.
Yeah, let's.
Should we Philly D this and just jump right into it?
What should we what?
Yeah. Let's.
I said-
You know what? Let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, no, let's do it. Yeah, I don't want to keep her waiting.
Okay. All right, stand by. Let her in. 1 second. All right, pin.
So she's in the lobby. We're just connecting her. Oh, there she. I can see her. Great.
She's in
Hi.
the Zoom.
Good. VPN. Thank you. All right. Oh, Jesus. What is that?
Thank you. What's happening?
I don't know. Was it me? Oh, there was just crazy audio feedback, but your camera feed looks great.
Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All
now.
good.
Hold on
Okay,
one
good.
second.
Yeah, we fixed it. Hi, how are you?
Your feed looks good. You sound good. Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for calling in. Obviously, I saw your tweet. Is this a trap or a good faith conversation? It's not.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which.
Well,
Yeah.
I think this is a good faith conversation. I mean, what would you consider to be a trap?
It's kind of like when you walk into an interview and it's like they're not trying to have a conversation. They're just trying to like paint you out to be a certain way, I would say.
Sure. That would be like a bad faith when they go in there with an agenda and they're not really open to hearing your thoughts. Well, certainly I hope for it to be a challenging conversation, but I hope that you'll find it to be in good faith. I mean, you know a little bit about me, I'm assuming, so you kind of know what's my positions on a lot of things. But I do look forward to speaking with you, and I thank you, by the way, for accommodating us. I know you're in the UK, so I thank you for making the time and coming out here at a weird hour.
Yeah, no, I used to watch you like last year, actually, a good amount, like a year or two ago, maybe.
What is like as a fan or as like a hate watch?
No, I don't know if it's like awkward to talk about like Trisha, but I used to watch like the show you guys did together.
Oh
I thought
yeah.
it was actually really good.
No, you can't. No, you can. Well, thank you. That's nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it like didn't work out, but I actually thought that was really good content.
Aw.
Like you guys did the like the bus tour. I thought that was so funny.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. We actually worked really hard on that. All these guys.
The bus
did.
tour is why frenemies fell apart. So
Wait,
I'm glad at least you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it was curse segment. Is that what
I don't-
happened?
Well, I don't know if it's so long ago. It's ancient history.
thought it
But
was
I
the
remember she was
Q&A.
upset that it didn't go the way that she was hoping that it would.
Oh, she thought we
Just put
shot it unprofessionally. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh.
but Pearl liked it, so there you go.
Yeah,
She,
I
and
was
Pearl,
there.
yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess let's just jump right into it. I want to I don't know how many of my audience, I'm sure a lot do, but I kind of want to just introduce you. You've become really successful the past year or two. Kind of, you're friends with Fresh and Fit, right? Those guys are your dogs, so to speak. And you kind of are sympathetic to their kind of views. But you've made a name for yourself just on TikTok and on YouTube. So let me just ask you generally, like, what kind of messages are you sharing on your platform? What kind of important messages is it that you find yourself are about?
I believe in family, so I think that we should have policies that push family. I think that feminism overall was a bad thing. I think that we should be. I think women are happier when we have, a family and kids over a career in the long run. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
It's
I'm a
okay.
little-
Yeah, I understand. So it's more like traditional. You want people to kind of follow a more traditional path in terms of family and gender and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and you just see the negative outcomes a society has when families fall apart, right? And it's especially hard on the children. Like you see, the kids are more likely to go to prison. They're more likely to drop out of school. They're more likely to, be in mental health institutions. So you just see all of the problems that come with, single mother homes. So I just think it's important that we push policies that push family.
So how do you push a policy that promotes family? Like, in what way can you force a family to stay together or encourage it in a sense?
Well, I think you first have to get rid of incentives that incentivize women to leave families. So, for example, child support, alimony. I'm not really a fan of those.
Child support. So if there's a divorce, let's say
actually, I think we should ban divorce too. Yeah, I think that should be banned. Yes.
Okay, well, that's a little bit silly. You have to acknowledge that, right?
No.
So banning divorce means that when you decide to get married, you are not allowed by the government to leave your significant other in any situation.
Yeah. I just think that if you want to leave, you just shouldn't get married. So that's just my opinion.
Right, but in the real world, that kind of simplistic.
And there's exceptions to this, but I would just say in general, for most cases, we could talk about exceptions, but the rule.
Well, the
divorce-
exceptions are the important part, because I've heard you say that a lot when you're talking about things. You say, oh, you want to talk about exceptions, but the exceptions is the important part, because those are the people that are going to be affected. I mean, exceptions are going to be a large part of divorces, as you say. I mean, you're talking about 25% maybe or more, because if you're saying you're not allowed to get divorced, so we're talking about what if the relationship is physically abusive?
Yeah, I think if it's physically, this is the problem though. All right. If it's one-sided physically abusive, okay, fine, divorce. We can allow divorce for those exceptions. But
Okay.
I've even talked to people that work at abuse centers, and they say that the majority of abuse is mutual. So it's not just one side's hitting the other, it's mutual. So
Surely
I
that's
just
not
think the
every
goal,
time.
I think. Yeah, I know. I didn't
But it's
say it
not
was every-
healthier either.
I just think that the goal should be to keep families together, and that the goal should be to work through it.
I think most people agree with that, right? Because I think we all can look at the stats and say family is important, right? Family is important. Nuclear families is important to like the health of children growing up in general. I think we can all say that. But when you say something like divorce should be illegal,
Yeah.
we got to kind of suss that out because that's a pretty extreme claim. For example, in 2014, family violence was the cause of 25% of divorces. So I don't think it's fair to characterize that as some kind of like super fringe example of why people get divorced.
Well, but you also have to look if there's incentive structures in place where there's a lot of false accusations in family court. Like, and a lot of people don't know this, that family court is actually based off, it's not based off of evidence, it's based off a balance of probabilities. And there are incentive programs that you get, like in the UK, you get a free lawyer if you accuse your husband of abuse. And it's less than 10% of cases are actually like followed through with the police.
Sorry, I don't want to move on quite yet. I want to stick on the topic of not allowing people to divorce. So you're saying that you do want to allow people to divorce, then you don't really believe that.
No, I would say ban divorce.
Okay, because you just said you would allow an exception in the case of abuse.
I said one-sided abuse exception, sure.
Okay, so how do you prove the one? So then you don't believe in forced divorce, or I mean you
okay,
ban divorce.
fine.
Yeah.
Ban divorce except for one-sided abuse.
Okay,
Sure.
except for one-sided abuse. And is there going to be a system to kind of how do you prove that the woman or man
Well,
was on the?
I think
Yeah, how
I
do
think you
prove
have
that?
to press charges in criminal court, not family court.
So only if your significant other is tried criminally are you allowed to leave the relationship. Tried and found guilty criminally.
Yes. Otherwise, just stick out of, which is fine if you don't, want to be with someone forever. But I just say stay out of marriage.
Right, but-
because when you take marriage is supposed to be, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, and for richer or for poorer. It's not supposed to be, when I feel like leaving. And the majority of divorces nowadays, it's just, when the girl just feels like leaving.
That's not true.
So and well,
It's just not true.
I've talked to hundreds of women.
That's
on my
not.
show.
That's just
So,
that doesn't prove anything.
And even if you look at when no fault divorce was initiated in the 1970, I think it was initiated. I mean, one of the number one reasons was financial differences and irreconcilable.
and reconcile.
Sorry, I can't talk.
So-
But yeah, I just think like, for the people that don't believe in real marriage, because what is marriage if you can get divorced over damn near anything? It's not marriage anymore. It's something else.
Well, I
So-
think the reason for that, historically, this emphasis on staying married, right? Or even before this no-fault divorce was an option, and it was more difficult for women to get divorced, or men, the abuse of power and the risk for abuse and for people to get stuck in a horrible relationship situation, not just for them, but their kids, right? I mean, obviously having your kids watch their mother get beat up. And oftentimes it's going to bleed.
or the kids get watching their father get beat up. Like it goes both ways.
I acknowledge that. It goes both ways. So both people have a right to, in my opinion, get divorced, because the alternative is one of the partners being stuck and like,
do you think that's
potentially
the
a lethal
majority? Do you
situation.
think that's the majority of cases
A majority of cases of what? Divorce?
of divorce? Do you think the majority
25%.
of you-
25%.
What?
It's 25% based on statistics.
but that's not. No, that's not what's in criminal court. It's like less than 10%. It actually followed through in criminal court.
Well,
So you
regardless,
can't- you can't-
10%'s enough, don't you think?
No, I said less than 10% of the abuse cases of the 25%. So that's like.
Journal
what
of
that would-
Family Violence in 2014 found that approximately 25% of divorces in the United States involve domestic violence.
Right, but again, that's because the woman says that she was, because their
Okay,
incentive.
but you're just
program.
saying stuff. You're just saying stuff. You don't actually know that to be true.
No, I do.
How?
I do. Like, okay, in the UK, there's a law that you get a free lawyer if you
How
get a
does
free
that?
lawyer.
Sorry, but how does that prove that
accuse-
women are lying about violence?
No, because I'm saying that you can't. Okay, You can't prove it unless they go to criminal court, because criminal court is based off of evidence, where family court is based off of a balance of probability. So it means it's more likely that they did it than didn't do it. It's not innocent until proven guilty.
Right, but they're not going to jail. It's just to let the abused.
I mean, you could call
partner.
it jail when you have a lifetime of not seeing your children. When the
You
whole
could, but
like,
it's not.
community. I mean, you could. I mean, have you spoken to these men? It's like literally their whole community thinks they're an abuser. Now they get to see their kids maybe 3 days a month if they're lucky. A lot of them
Sure,
are
yeah,
put on.
sure,
A lot of them
of
are
course.
put on.
Yeah,
right.
there's bad outcomes for sure, but
Horrible.
on the whole,
I mean, a lot of men zero themselves out during this.
they what?
Like a lot of men commit suicide
Oh,
during.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. You know.
It's horrible. It's like absolutely terrible. Like I interview these men that are going through this.
Yeah, I'm sure
'cause
that's happened, but at the same time, you're saying women are lying about violence, and I haven't seen you be able to prove
I'm
that.
I'm saying that you can't prove it unless you go to criminal court, because family
but it's
court
not a
is
crime.
based off of evidence.
Right, but they're not going to jail.
not-
It's just about the
I would-
welfare of the kids, and you know, what I mean, the people.
It's a
involved.
crime if you're falsely accusing someone of abuse. And so I'm saying there's no, you can't. They only prove it in less than 10% of cases
Okay,
in criminal court, because criminal court is based off of evidence. Family court is not.
so let's just say less than 10%. I'll just give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Still seems like enough to give people the option to leave. And this idea that women just leave whenever they want seems a little bit infantile, because people change, right? Especially when people get married young, which does happen. People change. People go through shit. People grow apart. A lot of the men who end up being abusive, you hear, were one way before they got married and one way after you get married. So I don't think it's fair to say you're just leaving whenever you want, or you should just have to stay in this forever. Wouldn't you prefer people get married than never get married? Like, I feel like you would be disturbed if, like, only 5% of couples ever got married.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather people got married and stayed married.
Right, but that wasn't one of the options.
I actually don't see a point in getting married with the way that marriage is today, to be honest. Yeah, because again, like, what is it? The average marriage is like 8 years. So the average marriage is 8 years and you're done. That's not marriage.
Leaving a marriage due to domestic violence and not pursuing criminal charges. Let's say that a woman's in a marriage and they have no fault marriage divorce. So let's say she doesn't want to charge her husband. She just wants to leave amicably, okay? But in your situation, she's forced to charge him legally, to have a police investigation, charge him for domestic violence. Wouldn't that be more damaging to his reputation?
Not if he beat the case, because again, it's based off of evidence. But I mean, I think that why would you want an abusive guy walking free? If he's actually abusive, he should go to jail. Shouldn't we agree on that?
Right, but it's just not that simple. Again, because like it's just not that simple. Abuse cases, because and it's not that simple to convict people.
I just don't think that men should be punished without evidence. And I think in family court, it's not based off of evidence. It's based on a balance of probabilities. And so you have a case where men only, like, they're stuck seeing their kid like 3 days a month, when again, it's not based off of evidence. Like, I've interviewed guys where literally the wife, and I've seen the court documents. It's coming out in my documentary that's coming out in the fall. But the wife was plotting to try to get the guy to hit her.
Right, I'm sure that happens, but
and the
that
wife still got custody.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not a representative case. Again, I mean, for example. Mm-hmm. You ask why a mom wouldn't want to try a parent. It's more nuanced, right? I mean, you need a more developed take on that, because it's very traumatic for the kids and the family to put their father through a violence case, and especially when the kids are probably going to have to ask to testify, to talk to the police. I mean, I totally understand why a mother or father wouldn't want to put their family through that, don't you?
I mean, I can understand it. Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure. And I mean, according to national statistics on domestic violence, okay, there's 10 million men and women each year that are the victim of physical abuse.
Mhm.
But in your world, I have a feeling that a lot of these people would be trapped in these marriages,
Mhm.
and that's okay.
I said in one-sided abuse they could leave. Yes.
Okay.
So no. Yeah.
Okay. Do
But
you?
yeah, I do think in order to get custody of your kids, if you're going to accuse the other side of abuse, you should have to prove it.
Do you think what do you think is more harmful to kids, divorce or physical abuse?
Physical abuse.
Okay, you passed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Though you had to think about it for a second. But anyway, let's move on from this.
No, I just thought it was kind of a silly question. That was all. But
Okay, that's refreshing. Tell me, what does red pilled mean to you? Because I've heard you use that phrase a lot. You're part of the red pilled community.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people. I will say a lot of people have their own definitions of it, so people use it for different things. But I would say it's viewing the world the way it's supposed to be, or like the way it is, not the way you're told it is. So, like, for example, a lot of guys think if they treat a girl nice and give her flowers that, she'll essentially sleep with him. And then a lot of guys find out that's not true. And so then they, came together and realized that. So that's just one thing.
Is that true? Do men really believe that?
But what do you mean?
That if you buy flowers and be nice, she'll sleep with you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's real. I think that's like a really odd way to describe dating. It's just like men are nice guys and women
Well,
are.
I just think
it just seems very
I would say-
cartoonish. Like we're talking about real world stuff, and it's just you can't
I
really.
just think men don't expect like women to reproduce more with felons than non-felons. Like I think that's a surprise.
Women reproduce more with felons
Mm-hmm.
than
Violent felons.
non-felons.
Yeah. I mean, like think about it. Like Ted
wait,
Bundy.
hold on.
Ted
Well, yeah, what does that mean? So felons who are procreating have more kids in general than non-felons. What does that stat mean?
They have more children with felons than non. It's like
So if
I don't remember if it's violent felons versus non-violent felons, but I just remember violent felons have more children than non-violent felons.
and so there's men who are looking at that and they're pissed.
No, not
Because I've
pissed.
never
I
heard
think
that stat in my
surprised.
life.
No, I think just surprised.
Right? I've
Because,
never heard that stat.
Okay.
Yeah, is there a source for that? It just seems kind of an odd stat. Like, what does it prove? Felons have more kids than non-felons.
Well, I think the reasoning is because women want a guy that can like protect her, basically.
A felon?
Yeah.
That's a weird.
Why do you think Ted Bundy had like love letters?
Oh, well, that's a whole different weird phenomenon about women being interested.
No,
Some
but
weird niche
No,
of
but
women
that's the
involved.
point.
All
That's
serial
the point.
killers.
That's surprising.
Right, it is
Right.
surprising, but I don't think it's any interesting commentary on the dating scene that serial killers get love letters from freaks. You know what I mean? Richard Ramirez
well,
did too. All serial killers do.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
don't-
but the point is, it's one like it's not the same for women. It's just men.
So what is your point exactly? That what does that prove that felons have more kids than non-felons?
That a lot of times women pick the bad boys. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Does having more kids?
With a guy that's a violent felon. You don't think? Okay.
Is there a source for that? It's just a really weird stat. I'm just trying to grapple with it.
I can get it. In
Sure.
a second.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, we can try to look for it too. I just want to hear what's.
It's in. I can show you where I found it. It's
Okay,
in this.
fantastic.
Mm,
Yeah, Casey Anthony got love letters apparently. So She was a serial killer, right? Oh, she killed her daughter.
Not serial, just a one
So,
timer.
so Casey Anthony murdered her daughter, and she was getting love letters too. She got letters proposing marriage. Don't you find that surprising?
Yeah, that is surprising.
So in a sense, it's not. It goes both ways, kind of when you look at it holistically.
Yeah, no, I think it's more so for women pick violent men more than men pick violent women.
Based on what?
I think you can just. I would just say, I would guess that it's more common with women because of that study versus like a fringe case. I would be surprised if women got the same amount of letters, but I could be
You
wrong.
might be surprised, but do you feel that sometimes you argue from emotion rather than like concrete facts? I find that when you talk about, and I've watched a lot of your videos, you say stuff that I don't think has much of a backing in reality. It's based on feelings, maybe instead of not emotions, but feelings. You say, I feel this to be true. Do you feel you do that a lot or no?
I try. I would say I'm a woman, so sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Interesting
But-
defense.
Hold on. Do you want me to find it or no?
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you a minute. That's totally fine. Okay. So why should I engage in a conversation with you at all if women are just emotional? Shouldn't I be talking to a man about this?
Probably.
Why do you bother to even have a platform? Shouldn't you just concede to a man?
Yeah, probably. You
Right.
know.
So we got to look for a man to replace you. Don't you think?
No, not
You
not
don't
really.
You don't think? Okay. But you do think women are more emotional.
Okay, I gotta find. Hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead. I'll give you a minute. Sorry, I won't.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to
No, it's all
talk to
good.
you and find it at the same time.
Yeah, I'll give you a minute there. But it's fine too. We can move on. I'll give you a minute, but we don't have to get stuck on it.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, we can. It's fine. We can move on.
Might be waiting a while.
I found it.
Oh, go ahead. Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
there we go.
Mm,
What's it called? I'll pull it up.
here. The link, he pulls up the study in this stream, so the link is on here.
Whose stream is it?
It's Rolo's stream.
Rolo Tony
But he
Browntown?
doesn't-
Tony Brown.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
good-
great, actually.
I know you're a fan of him. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's really nice.
I like his headwear.
I like when he rocks out.
where do I send it to?
You can send it in the Zoom chat.
The Zoom chat, yeah.
Or you
Oh,
could
it's
just
on
tell
my
me the
phone.
name of it and I can pull it up.
Okay.
Either
It's
way.
in Rolo Tomasi is offensive and vile. It's like 7 months ago. But yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll look into it. So if
Mhm.
women are so emotional, do you think it's bad faith in terms of an argument to argue from feelings and to present feelings as facts? Do you think that's a bad faith way to argue or no?
No, I was kind of kidding. I was like,
What
joking.
were you kidding about?
When I don't know, whatever you were asking me earlier, you were like, do you? I don't even remember. You said something like, "Do you think you shouldn't have a platform?" Or like,
Well, right. Well,
Yeah.
I asked and you said, well, I'm a woman. Of course, I'm going to. I asked you, do you feel that you make arguments based on feeling? And you said, yes, I do, because I'm a woman.
oh yeah, I was kidding. No, I use facts to back up my arguments. Sometimes I'd say I'm wrong. Sometimes I think something and it's not correct. But I would say most of my opinions, I try to at least have a basis of fact. Yes.
Okay.
Some things you just see in reality, right? I mean, like
Some things you
sometimes
just
you're
see.
gonna, yeah. I mean, you can, like some things you just learn from interviewing hundreds of people. You see patterns.
Right. But sometimes when you interview people, you interviewing specific people with specific experiences, you're obviously going to run into a bias.
No, I don't think so, because we do street interviews all the time too. So that's like random people on the street.
Okay, fair enough. So what? So there's the red pilled, which are people who see the world for what it is, and then you have blue pilled people, which I'm assuming is someone like me. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what does blue pilled mean?
People that see the world for how they'd like it to be, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't talk much about, I guess, like blue pill, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We don't have to focus in on that. So I've noticed that one of the primary focuses of your content is kind of the problems facing men and how there's so much unfair societal pressures or norms or expectations on men. Why is it that you're so singularly focused on the troubles of men?
Why am I focused on the troubles of men? And that's an interesting way to, I guess, phrase my content. I would say I think it's unfortunate what happens to men in divorce court. So that's probably what I talk about the most. I think that men should have access to their children.
That's not what you talk about the most. You definitely talk about stuff like pay gap myth. You talk about men want younger girls. You talk about men are just doing what's in their nature. You talk about women who have higher body count are less desirable. I'll be honest, I've watched a lot of your stuff, and the vast majority is not about divorce court. It's about this kind of like dating coach stuff.
No, I wouldn't say I'm a dating coach, but okay.
No, but that realm, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean you're a dating coach, but like that kind of realm, it seems that you're super focused on. So what is your interest in that? Manosphere, maybe that's a better term, manosphere stuff.
What is my interest? I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, so that's what we talk about.
Okay, that's fair. So what is, you say you're anti-feminism? Feminism was basically a mistake. So what is your problem with feminism? Let's start there. That's a good point, right?
I think that feminism wants equality when it benefits us and not actual equality.
Feminism, and are you going back to the beginning of feminism? Like the whole history of feminism, like women's suffrage and everything?
Yeah, no, I don't.
You don't fuck with women's suffrage?
No.
You don't think women should get the right to vote?
No, I don't.
Okay, so are you serious or are you kidding?
No, I'm serious.
Okay, so women shouldn't have the right to vote.
Yeah.
Why?
No. Because men are signed up for selective service, so they're fined $300,000 if they don't sign up for selective service when they're 18.
Do you think women should be drafted into the army?
I think if we want the same rights, it comes with the same responsibilities.
Do you think women should be drafted into the army?
No.
Okay, so then there's a paradox.
No, but that's my point. I'm saying, like, let's make it fair.
You don't believe? Well, listen, this is your perfect world.
I'm saying that if we are going to vote, have the same cost, which is that men are put into selective service and women are not. And if I had to pick between the two, then I would give up the right to vote instead of sign up for selective service.
Okay, so you're saying women should only get the right to vote if they sign up for selective service, but at the same time, you're saying women should not serve in the military. So in your world, women are just going to be disenfranchised because they're not going to be able to sign. They shouldn't serve in the military because they're not as good fighters, right?
No, I'm saying for me personally, I would not want to sign up for selective service if I had to pick.
So
I would give that up.
You think women should be given the choice if they want to do selective service or not?
I think if we're going to vote, we should have no choice like the men do.
So women should be drafted mandatory into selective service, you believe?
No, that's
okay. But don't you see the law? There's an issue. There's a problem here.
I said if feminists want the right to vote, right, then it should come with the draft. It should come. I mean, it's not called the draft anymore. It's called selective service. Personally, in Pearl's world, I do not want to be drafted. I do not want to be in selective service.
I know, but
if
I'm
I had
asking
to
you, like,
pick,
in
right?
general, in terms of policy,
Mhm.
because obviously I think it's safe to say women in general want the right to vote, right?
Mhm.
And so then, by your logic, women need to be entered into selective service,
Mhm.
right? But you don't think that should happen, or you think that's okay?
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Not you.
rather
I mean, in
not.
general, the women, because women
Right.
want to vote. So how do we resolve this issue? Do they get drafted like men?
I mean, I think it's unlikely that women will ever have the right to vote taken away. So I guess moving forward, maybe net taxpayers potentially you could do, but that's
Sorry,
a whole
net
that's a whole
taxpayers?
that's a whole nother conversation. But
Wait, what
no,
does
I
that
think
mean?
if we're gonna vote, I think that we should have the same responsibility as the men and be enlisted in selective service.
Okay.
So that's
So you're saying women should also have to sign up for selective service when they turn 18, like men.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying if you're gonna be equal, make it equal.
Okay.
And for me, I don't want to do that. No, thank you. Keep me out of that.
Okay, so right. I understand that's your preference, but I'm just trying to understand like the policy that in your red pill, we're doing the red pill. We're seeing the world as it is.
No, I wouldn't assign that belief to like red pill. That's not really like a red pill belief. That's just mine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a point about.
Mhm.
So do you think having women in the army would weaken our military?
Yes.
So then probably don't draft women into the army.
Yeah, but then take away the vote with it.
But
That's
you're not
my
giving that. That doesn't seem very fair. You see what I'm saying? Because you say, well, you guys are weaker. You guys are going to weaken our military.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want you in the military. But because you're not in the military, you don't get the right to vote. It's a catch-22. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do about that?
Well, I'll tell you what I think we should do.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, it goes back to, I just think that you have to have some skin in the game. And so it's like, if we're voting for a commander in chief, right, that's the person that decides if we go to war or we don't go to war. And so it's easy to, again, I think that if you're going to vote, you should have the same responsibility as the men, and women don't want to do that. It's either we're equal or we're not equal.
Okay, well,
If we're
just
really
to be
equal,
fair,
if we're really equal, have the same responsibility. But again, it's equality when it benefits us.
well, but your logic doesn't even make sense. I mean, you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, first of all, there hasn't even been a draft in the United States in 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there was a draft, maybe we could have this conversation, but it just seems kind of silly. In 50 years, there hasn't been a mandatory draft. It just hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so why is it a big deal, I guess, about the selective service? Because there's not going to be another draft. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's enough people in the army. I don't think that there's going to be a draft. It's just not going to happen. And with the way technology is going, we're going to have autonomous robot fighters before there's a draft. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So why does it matter? I just don't see the point with the selective service thing.
I just think it's, again, like, women want all the rights without the
What other
responsibility.
ones?
If you don't think that there's going to be a draft, then equally do what the men do. Men
Well,
are
they
fined $300,000.
Well, they
if
don't
they're
have the
sign up for
option. They don't
selective.
even have the option right now.
Right. So give them the option.
Okay,
I'm just
let's give
saying,
them the
make it
option.
equal. Make it equal.
But
Not the option. It has to be mandatory
I
if
know,
we're going to
but
make
you
it.
saying like women want the right to vote, but they don't want to enter in selective service, but it's not an option. How do you know what all women want?
I don't know what all women want.
So then why are you saying things that are generalized all women?
I'm saying, okay. Because I'm looking at the policies that have been pushed. And I'm saying
By-
the policies are not, like, where are the feminists fighting for equality in this situation? Like, when
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not that relevant, but also no women in the army is a kind of a byproduct of patriarchy, because women are looked as that they'd weaken the military, as you pointed out. Is that possible that it's men driving that policy and not so much women?
I didn't say women drove that policy. I said they don't try to make it equal. It's only equal when it benefits us.
Even if nobody's being actually drafted.
I mean, 50 years isn't, that long of, I mean, who's to say? You don't know, but okay.
50 years? I mean, the last mandatory draft was like during Vietnam, wasn't it?
Do you not think it should be equal? So you think that it shouldn't be?
No, I think what you're saying is fair, but it's not making any sense. Like, okay, sure, let's put women into selective service. Fine. I'm fine with that. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think everyone should sign up for it. And there's other ways that people can support the military other than being on the front line, right? Right. So, what other rights do women want? You know what I mean? That are contradictory.
Okay, women want the right to not be a mother, but men don't have the right to not be a father. So women can have a which I know it varies state. I'm in the UK, so I forget. Sometimes the US is different by state, but like in the UK, abortion's free up to 6 months, but a man can't opt out of child support. So it's like, why does he have the right to not be a father, but women don't? Or why do women have the right to not be mothers, but men don't have the right to not be fathers? I don't think that's fair or equal.
Sorry, just to go back for a sec. So feminists actually do, they want the draft abolished. So their point is, let's not sign up for the service. Let's abolish the draft altogether. So they are fighting for equality. They are against the draft. There should be no draft. So men and women shouldn't be drafted. That is also equality, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay.
So you accept the premise is wrong on that?
I don't. I mean, it's still not equal the way it is. But yeah, what they're saying.
No, it's not equal the way it is. Sure, and feminists agree. Feminists agree with you.
Oh, okay. I've never heard him talk about that. But
do you listen to a lot of feminist ideology? Do you read books? Do you listen to lectures? How do you listen to a lot of that stuff?
So I talk to feminists all the time.
Right. I haven't seen you talk to an actual scholar once. You just talk to kind of random women. Right. I mean, that's fair to say. Right. So when you say you talk to feminists, you just mean like random women off the street, not like a scholar.
That say they're feminists.
Yeah, but but feminism
doesn't count.
It's like a.
It doesn't count.
Well, you said you know what feminists believe because you talk to a lot of feminists, but I'm talking about like.
No, I said I've never heard them bring it up. So.
Do you have any interest in talking to feminist scholars who are more aware with like kind of what feminism?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I think that would be good.
Send them to the UK.
But they're in the UK.
No, I actually tried for some, but then they'll be like, "You're a hateful woman." Da 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 da. There's one that's I can't even remember. Some blonde chick out here. Can't remember her name, but yeah, she didn't want to come on.
Blondes.
No, I'm just saying that was her. That's what she looked like. I don't know her name. I forget.
But like, I mean, my point is like when you just bring a random girl and they say, "Yeah, I'm a feminist," it's kind of like the Steven Crowder "Change My Mind" versus like actually talking to someone who's involved in like the scholastics, the academia of what feminism means historically in modern day and previously. So the level of discourse you would have is obviously different. So feminists are in favor of equality, though. So I don't know if that's interesting you or not. You don't believe me?
I'll take your word.
You can trust me. I'm a man.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on. We're talking about feminism. So what other? So you were talking about divorce court. Sorry, I know you were making a point. So let's go back to that. You were saying that women can decide to terminate a pregnancy, therefore they can choose to be a mom, but men cannot decide that, and they don't get the choice to be the dad.
To not be a dad.
Right. So do you think that, like, do you not think that the idea that the baby, obviously the reason for that, right, which we both know, is that because the baby's inside the woman's body?
Hmm. I don't think that matters. Yeah.
So
I mean, personally, I'm pro-life, so I don't believe in abortion at all. But again, it's the double standard. It's like the women have a choice, but men do not have a choice.
Sure. No, I see that there is a sense to that which is unfair. Although there are a lot of single moms, as you pointed out.
Yeah, that are on child support. Not all, but
Well, men have the choice in the sense that they can just wear a condom.
Right.
If
And
they don't want to
women
be a
have
father.
Yeah, right. But women have the choice to go on birth control.
Okay.
Women have the
but
choice
ultimately,
to take a Plan B. Women have the choice to get an abortion. Women have the choice to, take the morning after pill. Women have the choice. You've like IUD. There's a million pills.
right, but those will have to do with pregnancy. But I'm
Right.
saying if
And
a
women
man,
also can require men to put on condoms or not put on condoms.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Women can also require that the men that they sleep with wear condoms.
Right, but if
So
it's
that's what I'm
inherent,
saying.
if it's inherently
Mhm.
unfair to men, the
Mhm.
easy solution is just it kills all this discussion is men just put on condoms when they have sex. Therefore, that
Well, you can also say women close your legs, like.
yeah, but you're the one saying that it's unfair for men. That's my point. You're saying men
No,
don't
I'm
have a
saying
choice.
I'm saying women have like 10 choices. The men have.
But that's just biology.
The men have condom or no condom, which again is a choice that both of them make because the women can require that the men wear condoms too.
Right.
But you're only putting that on
But
the
it's in
men.
the men. I'm just saying you.
Okay.
I'm saying you.
Once the baby is conceived,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then the man has no choice, where the woman has a choice.
Okay, so let's just talk about that then, because so it's your opinion that if a woman is pregnant, the man should be able to decide for her to have an abortion.
I'm pro-life, so I would ban it altogether. My point is the double standard, where a man is legally obligated to pay child support and will go to jail if he doesn't, but the woman has the choice to not be a mother through abortion.
I know you're against abortion, but I just want to know what you mean. So let's just say we're trying to make it equal for men. So should men be able to decide for women to have an abortion if she's pregnant?
I think that men should be able to sign off on child support.
Okay, so if they say, "Hey, I don't want anything to do with this baby,"
Yeah.
then the woman can decide to have it, but the father will have no obligations.
Yes.
And you think that's better for society?
No, I think that's equal. That's more fair.
Okay, so you're more interested in fairness than the welfare of society as a whole?
No, if it was up to me, if we wanted to go what's good for society, I don't think abortion should be legal.
No, I know. We're having
so that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I'm saying if you want to make it fair, like, I don't think that's fair that the woman, after she gets pregnant, so they both make the irresponsible decision, right? Because you'd agree it's irresponsible if it's an unplanned pregnancy that the woman, had sex with a guy without protection, right? We'd agree? Yes?
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
Okay. So you would agree that's equally irresponsible when it first happens.
Although I guess by your logic, it would be more irresponsible for the men because he has less choices. But yeah, they're both doing something irresponsible.
Well, but yeah, they're both irresponsible. So my point is, after that happens, women have the choice to not be a mother, but men don't have the choice not to be a father. At least, if they don't pay child support, they can go to jail.
Right, because that's for the benefit of the children, which is what's the most important thing.
Yeah, but is it for the benefit of the kid to kill him? Like,
say what?
Dude, it's not for the benefit of the kid. Like the woman can make.
Wait, what do you mean to kill who?
I mean, I'm pro-life,
to
so again,
to abort the baby.
So so if we're gonna go for the benefit of the kid, like if your argument is let's do what's best for the benefit of the kid, the benefit of the kid is not killing the child.
is
Right.
not
I mean,
to
and
kill
for me,
them.
like I believe it's a kid, right? You might not.
But
But
what's that
I
have to do with the fairness to the man? I don't understand that.
you don't understand. It's not fair, again, that men have the choice, that men do not have the
No,
choice
I
to not
understand
be
what you're
fathers
saying, but
when
what?
women, yeah.
But then, okay, whatever. We're arguing in circles a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about abortion then, since you're against abortion. I'm assuming your stance is abortion should be off the table in any situation.
Yes.
So if a dad rapes his daughter, then she needs to give birth to that baby.
You know, that's less than 1% of cases. Why
But
do you
that's
guys always
no.
bring up? I know,
No, but
why
that's
do you guys
important,
always
Pearl.
bring up the most like fringe
Because if you're
exceptions?
going to have a conversation about
Okay.
difficult things, let's talk about the difficult things. This
But
is
I'm
why the
saying
laws
let's
exist.
talk
The
about-
laws
but I'm saying
exist to
let's talk
protect
about
that
the
little
most-
girl.
I'm saying let's talk about the most common thing.
That's
first,
easy.
and then
That's
we can-
easy.
But I'm saying
That's
so
not
we
what's
can, we
difficult
can-
about this.
But I'm saying we can get to the difficult things later. But it's like, why do you guys bring
Because
up the
that's
most
the interesting part. I'm
fringe
telling you, the
case?
law is there to protect on
Right,
those
but
fringe
I'm
cases.
saying,
I'm
why don't
telling
we
you why.
Why don't we start with the majority of
Didn't we
abortion?
just do that?
You think? Okay.
What do you want to say? You don't agree with abortion. So, like, if a men and women have sex and they're both being irresponsible, then sure, I understand. You say abortion's bad because we don't want to murder babies. That's not controversial. That's easy to understand. The point of
Right.
these laws is to protect the little girl who's raped by her dad. These are the challenging challenging issues. So this is why I ask you about it, because this is the byproduct of your position of no abortions are allowed under any circumstance. So if you're willing to take that position, you can't just dismiss this because you are saying that this girl who's raped by her
I
dad
just
should have
think-
the baby.
I just think we
You need to
spend a
answer
lot
that.
of time. I just think I will hold on. I just think we spend a lot of time arguing about fringe cases that are less than like 0.5%.
Those are the
of
important
abortion.
cases. That's
And
why
I
we talk
don't
about it.
think those are as important as the 99.5% of cases. And so sometimes I think it's a bit disingenuous to say, here's this extreme fringe case that happened. And I don't think you don't make a law for the exception.
Yes,
Like
you do.
you don't make laws. The general law is not for the exception, it's for the rule. Like why
That's
would you
not
go
an
through-
exception. Why is that an exception? Or I mean, exceptions are important to the law.
Okay,
That's the
okay,
whole point.
Wait, do you not think it's an exception? Like a 13-year-old girl getting raped by her. I don't know what you can say on YouTube.
Yeah, you can
but,
say
like,
whatever you
getting
want.
raped by-
I don't
okay, we
think
don't.
I don't think raped is gonna.
we stay
trick the
away because it
bots.
gets us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But do you not think that's an exception?
You and by exception, but
It's
well, she
not
was
common.
raped. What do you mean by exception?
Right. Like, do you think it's common?
No, of course it's not common.
Okay. That's my point. Like we waste.
Do you think that it's less
so much
important?
time.
Do you think it's less important because it's not
I think
as
it's
common?
more. I think it's more important to talk about the 99.5% of abortions.
That's easy. That's an easy conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I get your position there.
Yeah.
But but listen, you can write.
To answer,
Pearl, you
yeah.
can write exceptions in the laws. That's why they exist. Because why should that girl who's raped by her dad forced to give birth to that baby because you didn't want to have a conversation about her?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would still make it illegal, to be honest. Because again, I think you either think it's a life or you don't. So if you think it's a child, you're never gonna encourage killing a child under any exceptions. So
Right.
It's
That's
just-
right. And that's, I guess,
Yeah.
where the big difference comes between abortion, people who are for and against abortion, is that we disagree on where life begins, essentially.
right.
But ultimately, what quality of life do you expect this child to have from like a 13-year-old girl who's raped by her dad?
Mm-hmm. Is a lower quality life less valuable? Like that's almost saying if you are in a bad situation, your life is less valuable than someone who isn't. And that's kind of a tricky argument.
Not less valuable, but I mean, if we're
But one should be aborted, one shouldn't. So one should be in society, one shouldn't be in society. I would say that's less valuable.
well, it's more about you were talking about fairness. You were interested in the idea of fairness, right? Instead of the welfare of society. So let's talk about fairness. You know what I mean? Is it fair to the little girl that she was forcibly impregnated by her dad?
Right, but is it fair? Is it fair to the child?
Okay, so who's
Like that's like we could talk
a
about
13-year-old
fairness,
is a
then you-
child,
then
by
you
the way.
tell-
She's 13. She is a child.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's horrible, and I think there should be the death penalty for rapists. But yeah, I'm sorry, like I don't believe in abortion. And again, to me, I think that's a child, and I just can't advocate for the murder of a kid under
Okay,
any
that's fair.
circumstance.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
What about situations where like 12% of abortions are related to health crises where there's a chance the woman might die or the baby might die or both?
hmm
Your thoughts on that?
I don't know enough about those situations to really have an opinion on it. I would probably guess that they would likely both die in those situations. So
Sometimes it's just the
maybe
mom.
that's an exception, but I don't know enough about that stuff.
Right. Well, we can use our imagination just for the hypothetical conversation where there's 12%. I'm telling you, there are 12% of abortions are related to health crises. So if it's the baby lives, but the mom dies, what do you think should happen in that situation?
I don't know.
Okay. The reason I'm putting your feet to the fire on this is because you says very specifically that abortion should be outlawed in all situations. So of course I'm testing that.
Yeah, I could maybe see an exception for the life of the mother, but I've heard and I don't want to quote this because again, it's just something I've heard. I've heard it's not as common as people lead you to believe, and like sometimes those stats are manipulated, but I don't.
Yeah, but
I
the
don't
commonness doesn't really matter. It's more about I think the exceptions are interesting. I disagree. I think when you say, why are we focusing on the exceptions? I think that's a way for you to try to dismiss difficult questions.
Yeah, I just think it's like silly when 99.5% of abortions are not the exception. So
you don't, but that doesn't make sense. I mean, why don't you care about the situation of everybody else? Just because it's the exception.
I just think you should spend more time debating the most common thing. So that's, my opinion.
Okay. Very good. So we talked about feminism. The problem with feminism is that women want equality, but they don't really want equality. They need to sign up for the military, which feminists want to abolish, the draft. And then we're talking about reproductive rights, where the women get all the choice and the men don't. Is there any other ones?
I'm sorry. I was reading something. What'd you say?
Is there any other examples other than reproductive rights and voting / draft that shows that feminism was a mistake or that feminists are disingenuous or something like that?
I would just say like there's just a lack. The biggest one I would say is divorce court. 90% women get custody 80 to 90% of the time. I think 90% of alimony payments are awarded to women.
What does that
And
have to do with women's suffrage, though? You said you criticized the whole thing going all the way back to its inception.
I thought you asked other double standards. No.
Well, I asked you what's your problem with feminism
Mm-hmm.
in general. We can move on, though. I have a good question for you. I hear you talk a lot about the pay gap.
Right.
The pay gap is a myth.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, because women don't do the dangerous jobs in society. So, like, I just think the pay gap, the majority of the time, is women making an excuse. Yeah, just excuses. Poor me. When
Do you realize you're arguing from emotion right now?
Are you gonna let me finish?
Oh, I just wanted to point that out, but yeah, go ahead.
All right.
It's just important to know.
You asked what I think.
Well, the pay gap is more concrete than, I asked what.
When you take into account the number, women work less hours.
Right.
don't do the most or would you say that's true? Women work less hours?
Yeah, statistically, that's true.
Would you say it's true that we don't do the most dangerous jobs in society?
Yeah, statistically,
Would you
that's true.
okay? Would you agree that the majority, if you look at female millionaires, the richest women came from divorce?
Okay.
True or not true?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I think so.
Okay, so what are we complaining about?
What does that have to do with the pay gap? Any of that?
Because all of those you don't think working less hours contributes to getting paid less?
Yeah, but you know the pay gap. Excuse me. Sorry, I've got phlegm in my throat. So what you're doing is you're misrepresenting what the pay gap is. You understand that? The pay gap, when it's analyzed by economics, economists, and the U.S. Department of Labor and such organizations, they do controlled analysis where they eliminate all these factors. For example, ones you listed of women tending to work in lower paid fields. They eliminate women working less. They eliminate for when women take maternity leave, all this kind of stuff. And even when you do a controlled analysis where you eliminate that, there's still a big pay gap.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's like, wasn't it like 3%? Last time I checked, it was 3%.
Oh, so there is a pay gap.
Yeah, but that's 3%.
So, but it's not a myth if there's 3%.
Yeah, but the number they used to push was like 77 cents to the dollar.
But that's what it is without the. It's about 20% without the control. Yeah.
Right, and so, yeah, I mean, when women. Like, I just think if we wanted to be equal, then do the same jobs men do.
But there is a bias. But that's interesting because you admit there is a pay gap. 3%. I mean, I wouldn't want to work for 3% less.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that's because of gender, but it's also because women are more agreeable. It's like 70.
That's included. That's part of the control.
Okay. I mean, I don't think 3% you can really say that's just because of gender.
Well, I did some research on this. The Department of Labor published an in-depth report. This is under Trump's administration in 2019. This is from the U.S. Department of Labor. I can link you the study if you want. It's called Gender-Based Pay Disparity Study. The research team found that the raw gender wage gap was 17.4%, and the median was 20%. The raw wage gap increased actually between 50th and 75th percentile and remains the greatest at the highest percentile. In addition, the research team found that the importance of human capital varied across wage distributions and part-time work, as well as female-oriented occupations. The updated result explained about 20 to 70% of the raw wage gap over the wage distribution, but it left an adjusted wage gap of 10 to 15%. That was in 2019. According to the U.S. Department of Labor.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to look at that, but the stuff I've seen, it's very small. It's like 3%.
What stuff have you seen?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I can send it to you.
Sure.
Okay.
But I just gave you a pretty concrete, I mean, the U.S. Department of Labor, do you consider that a credible source?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if that's true, it's just a lot of times like there are like parts of the study that they don't talk about. So like even on this is what I was looking at earlier. Like they're saying the stat you gave earlier, 12% of abortions are not done on the surgery table of the emergency room. These cases are overwhelmingly doctors advising abortions ahead of time in case there are risks for the mothers in pregnancy. Also, that 12% number they give is highly inflated. And so it's like, it's just a lot of times there's more to it than just like a number you're giving me, but
yeah, what does that have to do with the pay gap? I'm confused by that.
No, the point is that like a number you gave me earlier, like there was more to it.
Which number? Which one? I'm sorry. Go ahead. We'll unpack that.
The 12% of abortions are not done on the surgery table of the emergency room. These cases are overwhelmingly doctors advising abortions ahead of time in case there are risks for the mother in pregnancy.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a doctor is qualified to say this baby is going to put your life at risk. I would trust the doctor to say that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but they're saying that number's inflated.
Who's saying they didn't say that? That what you read did not say it's inflated.
No, I said also that 12% number they're giving you is highly inflated.
Based on what? Because what you just read to me doesn't disprove what I said at all. It actually makes perfect sense.
No, but they're saying it's inflated. I don't know.
They did not say that.
Who's they?
Yeah, they didn't say that. So here,
who's they?
It's just someone I do research with. So
so just someone.
Yeah, don't.
That's good. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Don't push, right? Here's an interesting analysis. I thought maybe you'd be interested. Women don't do the dangerous jobs. Women are overrepresented in healthcare. You know that probably, right?
Yeah, it's the number one employer is nursing.
Then hopefully you can explain to me why, when you look at the pay of women versus men doctors, you can see this graph. There's a huge disparity of the average wage of male doctors versus female doctors. You can see here, and even this is from 2022, last year. This is again from the Physician Compensation Report. Male doctors make on average $285,000 per year. Female doctors make on average $228,000 per year. So this is the woman's field, and yet they're still making significantly less than their male counterparts.
Okay, does it say why?
No, this is just raw data. This is just raw data.
I mean, you'd have to look at why. So
we could justify this by saying,
I mean, if women work less hours.
No, but work less hours.
That's what I'm asking.
This is controlled. They're working the same hours. They have the same qualifications. Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe they are in that field. I don't know.
Okay, so the wage gap is more complicated, perhaps, than saying it's a myth.
It's possible.
Okay,
it's possible.
That's nice to hear. So I would recommend, though, when you go out and do these shows and stuff, because when you talk about the wage gap, you're very adamant about it. Like, oh, this is a myth, and this is why, and you extract a lot of meaning from it. So I would recommend potentially approaching that topic with a little more nuance in the future. Especially if you're saying, well, yeah, maybe I'm wrong about this. But here's an excerpt so we can kind of see how you talk about these issues. Here it is.
I think in 2022, any girl that complain, I'm not talking about race because that's the first thing people always bring in. I'm talking about female to male. I think in 2022, if you're complaining about the pay gap as a woman, you're probably just lazy. I have never had a problem getting the same pay as a guy. One issue is that women
No. So you kind of agree that women who complain about pay are just lazy?
Yeah, the majority of the women complaining about this stuff.
What do you mean majority? What do you mean majority of women?
Oh my gosh. The majority of the women complaining about this
stuff. Based on what? Majority
of
women?
Whiners. Just what I see. Whiners. Big whiners. Yeah, I mean, because women, it's like, go.
You're arguing from emotion again.
All right. Okay. Is that what you're going to say every time you don't agree with me?
Oh, no. Oh, no. You literally are just saying stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I disagree. I'm just saying if we want to have a conversation about this stuff, it'd be better if we don't argue from emotion and say, I feel that all women are complainers. Because that's not a productive point. Right? You see what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still think that most women that complain about the pay gap are just whiners. They're big whiners. And I have never had trouble getting a job. I've never had trouble getting the same pay as a guy. And I think that in 2023, it's just a bunch of excuses.
So what's your experience in the work? You use your own experience as an example of why women pay gap doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'm not blind.
Well, hold on. What's your experience in the workforce?
I always had a job from after high school in the summers. And I worked in corporate America, and then I did.
How long did you work in corporate America?
A couple of years.
couple of years. I have
Yeah,
it with 1 year.
I'm only 26.
Right,
know?
you're only 26, and therefore I wouldn't put you in the. And you have maybe 1 or 2 years working in corporate America. Do you think that your experience is ample to say I've seen that women get paid equally to men? That seems disingenuous based on 1 year or 2 years, and you're only 26 years old.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Right. Okay. Okay, but I think we've established a little bit, at least you've conceded a tiny bit to me, that the wage gap is perhaps more complicated than yes or no.
If what you're showing me is real, you did this to someone else, but then there's like something else to it. But if what you're showing me is true,
yeah, it's all true. This is all sourced.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, you could easily look this up yourself.
Can I see the parameters for the control? I'm just curious.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah. You can pull up the U.S. Department of Labor one.
The doctor one. Could I see?
By the way, we've long since moved past, but I did find that study in the Rollo Tony video, the Swedish study from several years ago about Swedish prison system. I'm not sure. We can loop back to that.
Wait, what was it? What was it? I'm unfamiliar.
Here, I got a bunch of tabs open. Where did it go? In the meantime, here I'll send this in the Zoom chat if you want to take a look.
Oh, can you open it? Because I don't have the Zoom on my computer.
Oh, I'll
Dan sent a link to you. That I guess that's the parameters one.
That's the Department of Labor's 2019 study. There's a couple more. I guess we didn't. Really
What do you? I'm curious. What do you think it is? The wage gap.
Well, it's complicated, right? I don't think it's as simple as saying it's a myth and women who complain are lazy. That doesn't seem like a productive point to start that conversation. It is complicated.
What is your solution? Like if you seem to think that the wage gap is real, right? And that do you think women are discriminated against?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Because what barriers do women have today? In 2023, I just genuinely don't understand
barriers, right? It's not about barriers. It's about norms. It's about like patriarchy. It's about the way that we perceive the value of people. It's not about barriers. There's no laws that say women can't do this and that. Obviously.
Okay, so there's no barriers right now.
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
Pay transparency. Okay. So, I mean. I agree that in general,
Because.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I do think that there's a bit of discrimination going on. I do think that behind closed doors, when there's no transparency in payment, this presupposition, by the way, that you putting forward that women are lazy and just making excuses, that doesn't help. Honestly, it's hard. I don't know how to explain it but I know it exists, right? I know it exists.
So you think the bosses behind closed doors say we should hire less women?
No, it's not a conscious thing, right? It's systemic. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have it? Do you subconsciously pay women less?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So then wouldn't? Okay.
So because I don't pay women less, then it does that.
I'm just thinking if you think there's this subconscious thing, then you.
Well, but it does exist, right? I mean, we can look at the
should the women ask for raises at your?
We're talking about you saying it's a myth, okay?
Yeah.
But it does exist. That's what's interesting.
I don't think there's anything stopping you today. You could maybe argue. I can't even do it in my soul. You can maybe argue 50 years ago, but I just think in 2023, there are no barriers.
Didn't you say earlier 50 years ago wasn't that long ago? In regards to the draft?
100 years ago. Okay, fine, 100 years ago.
100 years ago.
I'm saying in the past you could argue, but in 2023, I just don't think there's anything stopping you. I think it's very much a victim mindset to tell women, to go up telling us that we're oppressed. I think that I can do anything minus the physical stuff, but I think I can apply for any job a guy can if I want. I can go after any job that I want. I can ask for more money if I want. And I don't think that men are out there discriminating against women.
I
don't think that men are, if men are such capitalists, men want to make money. It's like if women were so much cheaper, they would just hire all women.
Right. It's not how it works, but I've never claimed to have a solution, right? I'm just saying there is a problem, which you deny.
I'd also say, I grew up in a family business too. So my dad hired people all the time. Like he had over 200 employees.
Wasn't your mom the president? Was she the leader of the company?
What was you're researching my family now, huh?
Well, that's all public.
No, my mom, I mean, I don't know what they titled it. Like, I don't
Your
think
mom
really
was the president, I believe, based
yeah,
on an interview.
I mean, they might have titled it one thing or another. My mom did more of the marketing sales side. My dad did the engineering and the software.
Okay.
I think they wanted to get some grant. So I think like they might have had her like, they did that to get some grant from the government or something. I don't remember, but.
So is that a crime?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that on air.
We can cut that out.
Parents might not like that.
So I guess, again, we're kind of hitting a wall on this topic, but what I would say is this, is that I don't claim to have a solution. I'm rebutting your claim that the pay gap is a myth, because it's not a myth. It exists. I don't know how to fix it. I'm just saying it's not a myth. That's an oversimplification, and it's dishonest.
Yeah, I just don't. I think most of the pay gap you can attribute, and you even agreed to this, the 77 cents to 3%, like is very different. I think the majority of the pay gap, 3%. You can.
Oh, you mean the uncontrolled?
Yeah.
It's more than 3%, but I agree that it's lower. Yeah, it's a lot lower.
And even with that, like, I just would guess there's more to it, because I just don't see.
Is there anything else you want to guess at today?
I don't think that men have this evil. I think it's silly. It's silly to think that men have this evil coalition where they just unconsciously discriminate against women.
I agree. And that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
That's the oversimplification part. Speaking of coalitions, what do you think about the Jews? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have any.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Keep me out of
I was just kidding. That's not a serious question. Let's talk about some of your really interesting ideas on this one here. You say men want younger women. This is something I've heard you say quite a few times here. I'll play this clip to set it up.
The person that will get me at 40 years old, at 50 years old, is getting a different version than he had when I was 18, 20 years old.
But it's a less valuable version to men.
That's not the right man for me, because
it's not the right man for you. It's how men can't help what they're attracted to. No, it is all men. They can't. If you survey men between the ages of 20 and 80, they're all the most attracted to 22-year-olds. I peaked 3 years ago, and you guys did too. At 20, 22, 23, and this is men between the age of 20 and 80. So what men value is purity, youth, and fertility. And so, what would you be able to offer to a guy?
So that's something I've heard you say. Obviously, you strongly believe that, right? That women who are past the age of 22, their value goes down, and all men just want young girls. So I guess what's the message behind this? What is it? Who are you speaking to, and what is it that?
It's just true. Men do want younger women.
Well, right. Okay. I want to ask you this before we get into that. What is your message? Who are you speaking to, and what is it you're hoping that they take from this?
I just believe in speaking about things that are true. And I think a lot of times as women, we're told that we can just wait forever, get married at 35 and have a bunch of kids. And that's just not true.
Who's saying that?
I just think it's the message that's pushed by the media and culture today. So
the media is telling women to get married at 35?
What have you ever seen? What's a homemaker that's on TV?
You mean like in a sitcom, or you mean like in a
no? But I'm saying we don't have them in the media and the culture. Family really isn't. Family really isn't pushed. And so I'm not saying it to dog on women, but I just think a lot of times we're lied to. We have men are called ageist. ageist if they don't want younger women? You know, men are constantly shamed when they have a standard. So it's not. I mean, that's like a conversation from a 3-hour episode. I don't remember the.
I've heard you bring it up a lot. I know that.
Yeah, because it's true. So and a lot of times it's women.
You're speaking to women. You're saying past 22, your value's going down. And,
yes,
and your message,
to men, and your value on the sexual marketplace. So your value, like that doesn't mean like your personal worth. I'd like to just clarify that, but yeah.
And so your message to them is nothing. You're just saying that because it's true. I mean, why not just say the sun is hot?
Don't wait till 35 to get married. Get married as young as you can.
Right, get married as young as you can.
Yeah.
Now, you seem to offer a lot of advice to. Who you're mostly giving advice to women, would you say?
I wouldn't really. Okay. I wouldn't really.
Excuse me.
I guess sure.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think I've heard you say that even. And then so men.
Like I wouldn't say I'm like an advice channel. Like do this, do this, do this. I mean, it's more talking about the state of relationships today is a better way that I would put it.
So as men get older, not like super old, but their value goes up. And as a man's value on the sexual marketplace goes up, they're looking for younger virgins, right? That's important. And so any woman who's not...
Well, historically, virginity has always been a prerequisite for marriage. Like 100 years ago, 85% of women didn't admit to premarital sex. So, it's more abnormal now that women are not virgins anymore.
Do you know what an appeal to tradition is? What we did 100 years ago doesn't predict anything.
Well, I'm saying the outcomes are better for women. Like the outcomes are obviously better. We have more women on antidepressants than ever before, and it's tough because there are studies both ways when it comes to female happiness, but most of the ones that I've seen indicate that women are unhappy over a certain age without children, that most women wanted to have kids at some point in their life. And I just think, and you could see what happens in front of you. Like you're not blind. Women are happier with a family.
Again, you're doing the I'm not blind. I see this, which is like, again, kind of an emotional argument. Antidepressants didn't exist 100 years ago. You just want to call me
emotional today. That's just your go-to today.
Well, I'm trying. It's hard to have a conversation with somebody who says
the sexism I face in this country. I just get called emotional.
Right. Well, it's hard to have a conversation with somebody who just says, "I feel this." You know what I mean? It's like, how do you address that in a conversation? You say, "I see this. I'm not blind." I mean, that's not really a concrete.
Well, I listed before that.
Let's talk about those. Antidepressants didn't exist 100 years ago. What relevance does that have on the happiness of women then and now?
I mean. We're seeing them get more and more on antidepressants.
Well, men are on antidepressants too. I think those are
we're not talking about men.
But if men and women are getting on antidepressants at the same rate, then it doesn't.
Why can't we have a conversation about women without talking about the men?
Because
it doesn't. It's like 90%. I can't answer questions if you keep interrupting me when I'm trying to answer you.
Go ahead.
So it's like 90% of women are on contraceptive or have been on contraceptives at some point in their life. 1 out of 4 women have an STD. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. It's like these aren't good numbers. Like, do you genuinely think that sleeping around is good for women?
I don't think, in my opinion, mass sleeping around, like you're talking about, like 100+ partners, isn't good for men or women.
Okay.
That's my
do you
opinion.
think women sleeping with multiple partners is good?
I think it's completely fine. I don't think there's an issue with women having multiple partners.
Do you think it's good for them? Do you think it's good for women?
I think it depends on the person and the relationships. People. I mean, the premise is neutral. The premise doesn't imply, people, men and women have good and bad relationships. Some benefit them, some don't.
Mm-hmm. Overall, multiple partners, you would say good for women or bad for women?
I literally cannot answer that question because it makes no sense. It depends on the relationships. But let's say this. I'll answer it. I'll say I think it's good to get more experiences in life and to have multiple partners. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's not good.
Why?
So, I think because it leads to more heartbreak.
Heartbreak?
Yeah, like women sleeping with multiple people. I don't think that's a good thing.
You can get heartbroken without sleeping someone.
Yeah, but that's true. But I just don't think it's the same. Women attach through sex.
You think it's not the same? Men attach through sex too, by the way.
Yeah, but we're not talking about men. I'm talking about women.
But
I don't think sleeping around is great for men either. But I don't think it's the same for men and for women.
Hold on, you keep saying let's talk about women, and I just want to say, if there is a communal experience, then it's worth bringing up. Like you say, more women are antidepressants, but if men are on antidepressants in the same trajectory, then that would imply that it doesn't have to do with anything to do with women being promiscuous. It's more of a societal thing that affects both genders equally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
If men and women are both on antidepressants at the same rate, then that would suggest something on a larger societal issue and not because women are promiscuous. So I think that is worth bringing up.
I mean, you could argue a lot of societal issues have come from women being promiscuous.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could if 85% of women were virgins 100 years ago and everyone's on antidepressants, maybe
so was society perfect 100 years ago?
Maybe it doesn't have good outcomes for women.
Society was perfect 100 years ago when women were virgins?
I didn't say perfect, but there was more intact families, which
the
I think
life
is
expectancy was like 50 back then, just so you know.
I did not say, I don't know, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, you're saying the quality of life, things were better back then?
I said we had more intact families, which I think is important.
Okay. Let's talk about where were we? We were talking about we were on the topic of men wanting younger women. Here, did I finish this clip?
I just learned a lot from them, so I'd love to hear this side.
Oh, this is the pay gap one. Sorry. Men want younger women. We watched this whole clip, so I was just trying to basically apply it to your life if I can. It's like, so older men, when they have money, they have status, they're going to want a younger and more virgin woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a bit of a question, and I'm being honest here. Is it possible and you look at men, right, in terms of like their viability. You look at men and say, he's a high value man, he's a medium value man, he's a low value man, right? I mean, we could say that. We can put men into those categories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say you're in the dating field, right? You're looking for a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're single essentially, I guess, and you're looking for a significant.
Maybe not.
Okay.
So,
if you're looking for men, if a man who is willing to settle, let's say you're not that old, but you're 26, and you say that anyone over 25 is like almost damaged goods or getting worse and worse.
No.
It's less valuable. It's less valuable.
Correct. Yes. I would say I was more valuable 5 years ago. Yes. In terms of the dating market. Yes.
So do you think that how can somebody who's older and not a virgin and less valuable, how can they get in a relationship with a man and not think they're a loser? Because if you're a low value woman, then in a sense, you be judging the guy who's quote unquote settling for you because he couldn't get a higher value woman.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, a guy that you would settle for would be a loser by your own metrics. Low value.
Well, what are men supposed to do? 95% of women aren't virgins on their wedding days. You could be a multimillionaire and not get a virgin.
How do you?
I think that's why you see more men walking away from relationships.
No. How do you
yeah.
enter a relationship and not think that he's a loser because he's low value?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
But it is interesting, right? Because in a sense, only a low value man, and I'm sorry, I'm only framing this in your worldview. Let's say a medium value man would decide to settle on somebody like you who's a little bit older, not as fertile. You are not a virgin. And also, I'll tell you something else. You like being in the foreground, which is not good for traditional marriages. I mean, he's looking for someone who wants to build a home. You don't know how to cook
Yeah,
either.
I don't expect to be with like a high value guy. I think that's silly.
Okay. What's your
like 'cause when I think of high value, I think of like top 5% of men.
So what value do you think
very-
you'll be settling on in your own personal life?
What value will I be settling on in my personal?
What man do you think is reasonable for you to pursue?
I just I think that's a bit of a inappropriate like question. But
That's interesting because you spend like all day talking about this stuff. I find that it's really interesting to have you and put this analysis into use. Why is it
because the way
inappropriate?
you're framing the question is a bit disingenuous.
How?
I think most women
How is it disingenuous?
Yeah, I think it's a bit disingenuous.
Why?
but Okay.
Why? Why is it disingenuous? I'm analyzing your viability by your own metrics, which you do all day to other women and men. Why is that disingenuous?
I don't. Okay.
Like, I think it's fair to say, because you were talking to women about expectations and men about expectations based on their value. I think it's fair to say, okay, well, what's your value of man you're looking for based on your own?
What's my value to a guy that I'm looking for?
No. What value of man?
I wish I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I wish I was a virgin. I should have waited.
No.
Like, I don't know what. Like, I don't. Most guys don't expect that in 2023, unfortunately. I think men adapt to the market, but I think to say that you should just sleep around is a bit silly.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking.
Well, that you were saying that that more partners is good. I think that's a bit silly.
No. Okay, but hold on. I'm talking about you, Pearl. I'm talking about you. Your value by your own metrics is going to be not super high. So
yeah, it's less high than it was 5 years ago.
But it's not even just the age thing. It's like you are working. You're in the foreground. You don't know how to cook. These are not good things for your scorecard.
Hey, I'm actually pretty good now. I've gotten.
You have a
gotten lot better.
Okay,
I've
good.
gotten
You're
a lot
working
better.
towards it, but unfortunately, as you age, those things are going to bounce out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like you start in a certain place in life, but all you can do is improve and get better.
That's interesting. I agree. So, what is the point of telling people that they're?
Because a lot of times we're lied to. We're not even told what men want. Being told that men want younger women is like crazy, even though that's something.
That's not true, by the way.
New.
That's not true, by the way.
Men don't want younger women. They want who's hotter? A 50-year-old is equally as hot as a 20-year-old, just based on looks and nothing else.
So, yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be. But like, how do you meet a guy that you respect because he's settling on you? Don't you see that there's a paradox here?
I mean, if you respect men, you don't like.
But how are you going to settle for a low value man? Because like that, it's like, dude, come on,
a low value man.
A low value man.
I think if you get married, you're lucky to get married. That's my opinion.
Okay.
So I would feel very lucky. If I was married, I would feel.
So you'll take anything.
No, I won't take anything. It's a bit silly.
Your standards are quite low.
That's not what I said, but okay.
You said I'll be happy if I get married. I don't, you know what I mean? Hey.
Yeah.
Anybody who marries me would be great.
I didn't say to anyone.
How would you? So, where's your value as a woman? Would you say, like on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give myself like a 5.
A 5? Yeah, that's fair. I think. I mean, based on your metric, I'm not saying one way or the other. So we're looking for.
I think. yeah, I think I'm a 5. So
So you're saying that all men want to have sex with younger women. This is kind of interesting data, but are you aware that the MILF category is like the most popular? It was the #1 most searched term in 2018, MILF.
yeah, men like to have sex with older women.
But why is it
but
the most searched for?
yeah, it's a
They're looking
fetish,
for
yes.
MILFs, and when they watch porn.
Are you saying porn is the same thing as marriage and relationships?
You say men want to have sex with young girls. Why then are men, when they're
younger
fantasizing?
women, when you say young girls, that's a bit.
Okay, 22. I mean, what do you want me to say? Okay, young women, 22-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Why then are they going to Pornhub and looking up MILFs if they just want to, if they prefer? And this is the most searched. Wouldn't they be searching for like teen or something? 2018, yeah.
You know, men aren't that picky. You know what I mean?
No. It's not about picky. It's about preference. They looked for the MILF.
Okay, so I have a question. Why do you think like the #1, like they swipe right on younger women?
That's
Do you
just the thing
think
you
it's
said.
do you think it's equal, an 18 or 22-year-old versus a 50-year-old woman in
I
terms
don't-
of looks? Now I'm asking, do you think it's equal? Are you equally attracted to the average 55-year-old versus 22-year-old?
I would be more equally attracted to someone closer to my age where I am in life, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Maybe
say
like -5 years,
yeah, but younger typically.
typically.
Not older.
Well, I
It's
mean,
interesting
plus or
that you
minus
said
5
that.
years.
Younger.
Plus or
yeah,
minus.
younger. Right.
Plus or minus 5 years.
Okay, you said younger first,
But I'm
but
telling you, plus or minus.
okay.
There's no take backsies. No take backs. You said younger. Yeah, but so why do you, how do you explain that?
Most women want to
though?
date. Most women want to date 5 to 7 years older. I think men go like 5 years younger.
Is there any way to explain why MILF is the most searched category?
Guys like to watch, you know, a hot mom have sex. Yeah.
More than a young girl have sex, apparently.
Are they the top porn stars? Because I thought those were younger women. I thought it was like the ones that, I mean, I don't actually watch that stuff, so I don't know.
I
but-
don't know the stats, but I'm just telling you based on search that people are looking up MILF way more than teen and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that is
okay,
interesting, though.
Do you think it's better for a woman to get married at 35 than 22?
I think it's neutral. I think it depends on a lot of things. I do think women who get married young have a higher rate of divorce.
Yeah, it's like below the age of like 21 or 18 or something. I don't remember.
So that kind of disproves your thesis, doesn't it? If younger women are getting
I would
divorced
say
more, then
overall
more.
younger is better than older.
But if younger
overall.
women are getting divorced more, and you're
the youngest, not younger. But we also wait to get married. The average age of first marriage in the UK is like 31.
yeah, but our life expectancy is like double what it was, so it's not really a
Right,
fair
but that
comparison.
doesn't change. That doesn't change biology. Like, so when it comes to children, like women are still the most fertile when they're younger. So, I mean, we can have a cultural shift, but that doesn't change your biology.
Well, we have a scientific shift too. We have methods of making it easier for older women to have babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the cultural shift is
you're talking
matching
about
the
IVF.
scientific.
You're talking
IVF,
about like,
it's not just IVF. There's fertility treatments you can get. I've done it with my wife. It's less invasive. It's like taking hormones and stuff, and so the science.
I can pull up the numbers, but the majority of IVF fails, especially over a certain age. I can pull it up.
So
I think it's expensive too. It's like the average IVF is like $30,000.
Yeah, most fertility treatments isn't IVF. There's less invasive, less impactful, less expensive things that you can do that are really effective.
Right. I mean, you can, but again, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford a bunch of fertility treatments.
Okay.
Like, I think that's easy for you to do, right? You're in a great position.
It should
in life.
be free. I agree.
But no, I don't think that you should pay for other people's decisions. I think if you want to make that decision, you should pay for it. But I just think that's an easy thing for you to say when you're in you do such great numbers. I'm sure you do really well income wise.
Thank you for saying that. We shouldn't pay for what other people do. Should we pay for prisoners or should we execute them all?
Those are my only options.
Well, we shouldn't pay
It's
for.
either pay for prison or execute them.
Well, okay, right. That's
Either
extreme.
the two.
In a sense, though, I'm trying to make it like somewhat.
Like
Because
that's a tough question.
well, prisoners cost on average like $30,000 a year for the average prisoner,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or even more now.
I think
Probably
it's
like
significantly
40,
more. I think it's like closer to
45,000.
70,000 or something like that.
70,000.
Let me look it up. I'll look it up so we
That's
have the right number.
crazy. Because the IVF is obviously way cheaper than that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do about them?
To execute or put them in. Well,
Or what else? I mean, what would you do with prisoners? We're spending $45,000 a year. What do we do with them?
Yeah, the average is it looks like 45,000.
45,000. IVF
Like-
probably costs like 10,000.
I mean, what are they in prison for? I don't know much about. This is kind of a different, topic, but I do think we should execute.
Well, they're all
rapists.
costing us the same amount of money,
Rapists
45,000.
we can execute, and murderers. Yeah, we can. The rest, I don't really know. I don't have a strong opinion.
Well,
but
IVF,
in
let's say,
general,
costs
in general, but
10,000.
I guess I guess prison would make a bit more sense because you want a safe society, so that's something everybody benefits from. But I don't benefit if Susie down the streets waits till she's 35 to get married.
But
and
then
decides to
her
take
family will be
friends.
stronger. She's less likely to get divorced. The kids will
Yeah,
grow up in
or
a
she
stable
could-
household.
or she could do that when she's younger. Like again, we're
Right,
always
but that's
trying to
not how it
build
works,
women.
and you know that. You look at the stats. Younger people are more likely to get divorced. Young people don't make as much money.
What
Younger
do you
people
mean
have
by-
less
what do you
time to
mean
spend.
by- What do you mean by young? So like
they-
I think the stat I saw was under the age of 21, but it's like between above that the divorce rate's very similar.
Do you think women under 21 should get married?
Yeah, if they want to. I think people. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything, but I think more time you can spend with a husband rather than just like out on the dating market. I think that's better. I think less experience is better.
So here is an interesting regarding men wanting to sleep with younger women.
The top.
So I've been trying to source that figure. By the
How
way,
old is Abella Danger? How old is she?
how old is Abba?
She's
She's
27.
27. That's pretty old in your world, isn't it?
Lana Rhodes, Riley Reed. Yeah, but that's not a MILF.
No.
'Cause I think, and for us, it's like 18 to
Rhodes' age.
28.
Lana
typically.
Lana Rhodes is 26.
26. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
again,
18
the
to
most
20
searched.
It's 18,
But like
it's 18 to 28.
just because
which is,
just because they're the most popular doesn't mean it's the most
says
popular
top- it
category.
says-
Also, their
it
26
says-
is over the hill,
I
right?
got the top. The
Yeah.
top categories I have is ebony, lesbian, threesome.
I don't see any 22-year-old head large mainstream porn
I
stars.
mean, 22 versus 26. It's not that. Like we say, 18 and 28 is a woman's peak.
20. What is the woman's fee?
Between 18 and 28. I mean, it
28.
slowly declines after like 22 or 23. It slowly declines, but 18 to 28 is a
And
woman's
peak,
peak.
peak as in what? What does peak mean?
Peak like looks wise.
Okay, looks wise.
Hmm.
So I've been trying this claim that men between ages 20 and 80 want to have sex with 22-year-olds. I haven't been able to find any source for that. The only source I've been able to find is from this
Can we
book.
put the prisoners to work?
Say what?
Can we put the prisoners to work?
They already
that.
do. Yeah, they
That's
do.
exactly
they're
what we do
they're
currently.
slaves already. They work for like 10 cents an hour.
Yeah, but only
To profit
yeah,
private corporations, by the way. It doesn't benefit you at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good system.
You seem very knowledgeable in the prison system. I wouldn't call myself a prison expert.
Yeah, and
you
that's
know?
that's fair. We don't need to. I don't expect you to be. So, in terms of sourcing, this claim that old men want to have sex with, not old men, all men want to have sex with 22-year-olds around that age. The only source for that I could
So
find,
they find that the most attractive.
the only source for that I could find was a book called
Can you look up
Cataclysm.
what's the Okay, yeah.
The way that these numbers are sourced is pretty poor. So it's not really that high quality of a source. But I'll read you the results. It does say that men 20 to 50 find 23-year-olds most attractive, but in the same study it says, but women that men find they're most interested in are women of their similar age.
But they found the 23-year-olds the most attractive.
But not the most.
How did they source interested in and desirable?
I think
How
it
did
means
they just ask them?
The whole
No,
study
they
is
didn't
pretty
even
bad.
ask them. It wasn't even really a study. This was a book. And I'm sorry if this isn't what you got your statistics from, but it was the closest thing that we could find to the stats that you were laying out. And it did, again, it has shown that 20 to 50 men, when asked who they find the most attractive, the answers generally fall in that range, 20 to 23. However, this wasn't really a study. This was a book by the CEO of OkCupid, and he was basing all of this off of analyzing the raw data from OkCupid, and this was in 2014, so it was about a decade ago.
But they're most interested,
right? And they found the same conclusion that Ethan just pointed out, that though they may find younger women more attractive, who they are interested in dating falls generally much closer to their own age.
But if you have a better source on that, I'd love to hear it, because we looked.
Or even if you look at dating app data, like what? Because it all starts with
That's
looks
what this
for
is.
men.
This is dating.
But I'm saying it starts
data.
with looks for men. You're not going to get in the door unless you look a certain way.
Yeah,
so
women
I mean,
may could be attractive.
there's some older women that right, that look good enough to get into the door, but it starts with swiping, and that starts with looks. So if they find the 22-year-olds the most attractive, that's what you need to get in the door first. It's not to say that every woman over the age of 30 or 35 is like done for completely, but it's going to be a lot harder. And I think it's dishonest to say it's going to be equally as easy to date when you're 35 versus 22.
Yeah, I didn't say that. But you're saying men. Men
tend to, in general, like younger women.
Find younger women more attractive.
But
I don't
not
think
who
it's
they're
accurate to
interested
say
But
they
it
like
starts,
younger.
but everything
interested.
starts. But men, it starts with looks. So you don't get into the door unless you look a certain way.
I think you're making a big generalization about all men.
Okay, do you disagree with that? You don't think it starts?
I think
with
a lot
looks?
of men have a lot of different preferences, and I think a lot of men's consideration of what attractive has a huge variance as well.
Okay.
So when you say good looks get you in the door, I mean attraction is pretty subjective, don't you think?
I think that it starts with looks for men.
And looks
I
is
think
pretty subjective, wouldn't
I
you
would
say?
no, I would say it's not. I would say men tend to find the same things attractive.
Beauty is objective.
Based on what?
That's an interesting take. Okay.
Based on what?
I would say dating app data.
Which ones?
I don't know off the top of my head, Ethan.
This one from OkCupid said men are most interested in men of their own age. Or sorry, women of their own age.
It said women. They find women the most attractive at 22 or 23.
Yeah,
right?
but they don't want to date.
My argument.
They don't want
is
to
that
date them though. They don't want to date them.
Yeah, they find them more attractive.
You guys don't let me finish. Is my argument is you need looks to get in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
what does that have to do with being 22?
Find that the most attractive. Men tend to find younger women more attractive.
I think you have a really.
I think it's like dishonest to say. Do you really think it's equally as easy to date for a woman at 35 versus 22?
Again, nobody said that.
Yeah,
okay. No. Okay. Do you think it's harder for the 35-year-old in general?
I think there's less options as you get older.
Yeah, of course. I think
for men
that's
too.
very
For men
intuitive.
too.
And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
for
men
both
too.
Yeah, but
partners.
do you think it's equal? Do you think men have less options equally as much as women?
As they get older?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, who fucking knows?
No, I'm asking your opinion.
You're asking my opinion. My opinion is that it's probably similar. Probably similar.
If women, yeah, see, I disagree because I saw a different dating app that I saw a different, I think it was either OkCupid or Plenty of Fish. I can't remember which one, but it was like the most swiped right on age for women was 18 and the most swiped right on age for men
that's just
was
volume, dude. I mean, there's way more younger
50.
people on dating apps than older people.
Sure.
Like if you looked at age distribution, it'd be a vast majority of younger people.
Well, and when they asked men what age they preferred to date, I think it was like 5 to 7, like 5 years younger was the average. In women, it was 5 to 7 years older. So even if we just go off of women's preferences, like men would have more options when they get older because women want older men.
That's all just, you're just saying stuff. I mean, you're just saying stuff based on what you think is real. But I don't think any of that is necessarily true.
I mean, I could find it. I mean, I don't have like a team like you guys have.
Yeah, but well, you say this stuff all the time on your shows, so I would expect you to be somewhat familiar with the...
I mean, it just depends on, like, sometimes you forget which one.
Sure.
You know.
You want to name a couple it could be from?
Give me a second. I'll find it.
Did you know that the number 5 porn star of all time is Lisa Ann? She's 51 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Love is number 8. She's 50. Men they like MILFs, man. Men like MILFs. They like experienced women that know what they're doing. They like men like that.
Do you think that men want that for relationships?
Do you think men want to date a child for relationships because they're more attractive?
I think men prefer younger women in general.
In relationships.
Yes.
That's just, I'm sorry, but that's not even backed up by your own data. It says men are more
younger than them, typically.
Younger than them, that's a different, that's not, men want to date 22-year-olds. A 50-year-old doesn't.
They're the most attracted to 22-year-olds, and looks gets you in the door.
Yeah, but it doesn't just get you in the door. That's just step one.
You're saying different things. In this culture, if a man is walking around with a 22-year-old, people are going to think that's weird. People think it's weird.
2 out of the 5. It says 2 out of the 5 top porn stars in Pornhub are 23 and under, and all of the people that you're listing started young.
Oh, so they're old now.
Yeah, they built their fan base.
I don't think it really works that way.
But they're old. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be hot.
I don't think it works that way. You guys are in media. You know damn well that you build a fan base.
Bro, what do you think? They're YouTubers. They're not doing Minecraft Let's Play. They're naked.
How about that?
Come on.
I don't find that analysis very interesting, and apparently you don't either, because
Sweetie Fox 22.
Yeah, there's porn stars who are 22.
Yeah, of course.
The majority are younger.
Yeah, but not the popular ones. MILF.
The most popular ones are younger. Most popular ones are younger.
They're like in late 20s, you know.
My dog's barking. 1 second. Oh, be quiet. Sorry. I let her outside. It's kind of hot in here.
I want to ask you.
The number 1 porn star is 23.
Who?
It's either, let me see, it's Eva.
Who's the number 1?
It says,
I just don't think it really
the number 1
refutes
porn
either
star
point.
on Pornhub is 23.
Who?
Eva Elfie is 23.
She's not number 1.
What I'm saying is number 1.
But even if that's true, I don't think that refutes anything. I mean, it's possible that number 1 is 23. But
you said,
she's not number 1.
You just said it. You just said it refuted it that the number 1 search was MILFs.
Right. Well, it counters your argument. Okay, let's move on. There's just argument in circles here. I want to talk about this a little bit more. Higher body count doesn't.
They said the 2018 poll, citing a 2018 poll, and the 2022 numbers show that the MILF drops.
The MILF drops, but it's
citing a 2018 poll, and the 2022 numbers show that the MILF drops.
It's top 5 most searched. Number 1 in UK, Southern Asia, Canada,
we did say
Netherlands.
that it was 2018.
Yeah, the 2018
Yeah, but
one.
I'm saying it says the 2022 one that dropped.
Oh, so men became less interested in older women in the last 5 years, I guess.
Well, this year.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead, Olivia.
MILF was number 1 search term this year in the UK, Southern Asia, Canada, and Netherlands.
Yeah.
And
Men
it was
like
in the
MILFs.
top 5 most searched for terms in Paris, Italy, Mexico, Spain, Poland, Ukraine, Argentina, Sweden, and Belgium. this year.
And Lana Rhodes is number 1, and she's 26. But whatever, who cares? Let's move on.
Okay.
I disagree. Listen, I disagree. There's not a lot of data on this. Like, there's really no data to make a conclusion. So again, I just don't think it's fair for when you talk about these things to say, oh, science says this, data shows this, but there's no data that shows any of that. I mean, it's just, again, you feel that way. You feel that to be true.
We just talked about that men find 22-year-olds the most attractive.
Yeah,
so
but
you
not
can
the most.
you can interpret the data differently than me. That's fine. Like we can.
It's not really data. That was some random blob from a book.
We can. I mean, there's also dating app data, and then you guys interpret it differently than me. We can interpret it differently, and you could come to one conclusion.
Let's agree to disagree on this one. So tell me, we didn't really get to flesh this out, but I find this topic interesting. Why is a woman with a high body count, and high, I guess, is like 10 plus? What is high?
Well, it depends. Depends what guys you ask, you know.
In your opinion.
I mean, in my opinion, I really think it's best to be a virgin when you get married. So I didn't do that. I wish I did, but I think it's best to be a virgin.
Okay, but like, what would you consider a high body count, if in general, when men are looking, considering such a thing?
It seems like the body count studies that I've seen, it drops around like 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Okay, so what is inherently less desirable about a woman with 5 to 7 partners?
I mean, one, what value does that bring to a guy?
Well, it's neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I just think
I asked you what devalues it, not what values it.
What devalues it? I think that you have more exes to compare your current partner to.
Oh, so it's insecurity. So you would be insecure.
If you want to label it that way, but it's like, why would you want someone with more exes?
5 to 7 sexual partners means that there's too much to compare me to, and therefore you might think that I'm inadequate because you've had better partners.
Well, it's also like the rate. Women are happier when they're virgins on their wedding day. So
that is just something you said.
No, look, I mean, you can look up the studies on body count.
Yeah, we can fact check that. It just seems like something you just say.
It's like from the Family Institute, something in Family Institute.
Okay, but so while we look that up, let's say so women are happier, but
the more sexual partners a woman has, the less happy she tends to be.
But I'm asking
you,
married. What is less attractive? Because you talk about men are looking for women who have had less sexual partners. So what is less attractive? What makes them less attractive?
What makes them less attractive? Men don't want hoes.
What do you mean by that?
Men don't want women that have slept with multiple people.
Well, we're talking about 5 to 7 partners. Why don't men want hoes?
Do you want a woman with a lot of bodies?
5 to 7, I don't consider. I think that's totally like.
Well, I think most men would, pray for that nowadays. But
what do you mean most men would pray for it? Because the number I looked up is 10% of women there's only 10% of women in the United States have more than 15 partners. The average number is 4.2.
Did that study was for women? It included older women too, though, didn't
25 to 44.
Yeah, yeah, I just think it would probably be more accurate if you kept women under like 35, but
So what makes a hoe? What does a hoe mean?
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you, clearly.
What do I think? I mean, from a historical perspective, really a virgin. Like, I think you should be a virgin on your wedding day.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
But what's that have to do with men being attracted? You said men don't want to date hoes. I just want to unpack that.
Mm-hmm.
Men don't want to date hoes. I don't know what that means, if I can be totally honest with you.
Men would prefer a woman with less sexual experience than more.
Oh, less. Well, so I gotta disagree with you. I just don't think that's true. I don't think men care. I don't think men care how many sexual partners their women have had, unless it's like 100. But that's true of men. Men who have had 100 sexual partners are also pretty.
Do you think women care about Drake's body count?
Why?
Like women want to sleep with Drake and like other celebrities. Do you think they care about their body count?
Are we talking
But
about
men don't.
Drake? Or are we
Men aren't
talking about
lining up,
general
but-
pop? I mean, Drake's a celebrity.
But
you know?
men aren't lining up to date like Lana Rhoades, Mia Khalifa, and like actually
You
marry
fucking
them.
crazy? Dude, are you crazy? Do you really believe that? Dude, men would, there is quite literally.
There are
people
men that would literally give their
Come
life
on,
to do that.
you can't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that the
would
men with the
die for
most
that.
options, that's what they want to do.
Men with the most options want to do what?
We're not talking about men with the most options. Are you talking about women with the most options when it comes to Drake? Or are you just talking about average fans?
I'm talking about Drake does not have a problem getting laid because of his body count. I would imagine that
Right.
porn
That's
stars
not-
would have
yeah.
I would imagine that porn stars would have a hard time getting into marriage with a man that they respect and admire.
Aren't you the one that's always been like, let's not talk about fringe cases? What's the point of bringing up Drake? That's like the most extreme example, wouldn't you agree?
I mean, we could even go into like normal dating. I think it's
That's more
silly.
important. Yeah, let's
Like,
do
this
that.
is I just think it's silly to argue that men want to date women with high body counts.
No, they don't want to. I'm saying I don't think it matters, especially the number you gave me,
Care
5
one
to
way or
7.
the other,
Yeah,
yeah.
5 to 7. I don't think men care about that in general. I just don't.
I mean, you could argue 15 to 20, 25. Like, I don't know exactly what point, but usually there is a point for most men.
Sure,
it's
and
like
women. I mean, and women. I don't think women want to date someone who's like slept with.
I just don't think it's equal.
It's not equal because Drake.
No, not because of Drake.
Because we should remove like celebrity and outside kind of influences from this because that obviously creates unusual, fringe cases, which we don't like. We don't like to talk about those.
So then what about the abortion one?
I was just
earlier?
parodying you. I was just
thought you
kidding.
liked.
I was just kidding. I was just joking. Yeah. All right, one last thing. I see that we're getting exhausted here. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Drake saying, "I want a girl with a future and a past." That's a lyric of his. He wants an experienced girl. Even Drake's talking about it in his damn lyrics. Drake doesn't want a virgin.
You just said no celebrities. That's crazy how you just threw that out the window now.
You don't want to talk about it. Drake wants a girl with a future and a past.
Oh, stop. His simp pandering music to women. He makes money off of that. Women are like, come on.
Drake!
All right, let's talk about
Drake
one
also
last
seems
thing.
like a creepy, probably. Yeah.
And I do thank you for being here. You know, it's combative, but I think it's a good conversation. I wanted to ask you about one last thing. This comment I thought was interesting, and tell me what you think about it.
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
So, in what way was slavery made to seem more horrible than it was?
We were talking about, and I don't really want to go into this too much because we're kind of past this, but I was quoting a Thomas Sowell book.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Who's that?
Yeah. So Thomas Sowell's an author who talks about the history of slavery. So.
Thomas Sowell. Oh, but do you agree with that premise that slavery was embellished, or no?
I think that there are parts that are under embellished and there are parts that are over embellished. I think it just depends what we're talking about.
That's so interesting. I've got to know what was over embellished about slavery. Just like one example, I'm dying to know.
Yeah, I just rather. I mean, I was talking about a book that I read, and I think to understand the context, you'd have to read the book.
But you just said some parts were embellished, some parts were embellished.
I just again.
Are you retracting that?
I'd really just rather not.
Okay. Dude, no, but slavery being embellished—that's so interesting. I don't know how you embellish it.
There are certain facts that we're not allowed to talk about.
Like what? I would love to. We're doing the taboos.
No,
we're mixing it up. It's red pill, baby. Let's see the world as it is.
Taboo topics.
I genuinely want to know how it's embellished.
Yeah.
What can't we talk about? Come on.
I mean, I could show you the video I was quoting, but it's just I'd rather not get into this. So.
Sounds like a blue pilled attitude to me.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping this was like a good faith interview.
Wait, what's bad faith? I'm literally showing you clips of you saying stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What about this interview has been bad faith?
I just think you're kind of trying to push an agenda and you're not. Yeah, I just think you're trying to push.
That's a clip of you saying that. You can disavow it. That'd be super easy to say I was wrong.
Full interview where I'm quoting somebody. Like if you watch the full interview, I am quoting somebody, and now you're trying to pin me down about a topic that I don't dive into.
Hold on.
So it's like,
hold on.
That's not the point of my channel.
Okay,
the point of my channel isn't.
I know, but you said it. How is that bad faith? Hold on, let me see.
Okay, because I was talking about how the founder of the Thomas Sowell talks about how the guy that made Roots talked about how it was a myth for his people to live by.
Okay.
That's what the guy who made Roots said, Alex Haley.
Okay.
So, and I can't even talk about that on a podcast without being canceled by the internet.
Yeah, but mythology, myth doesn't necessarily mean it's a lie, right? Just because mythology is like a culture,
right, but
a
I'm
history.
saying that doesn't mean the way it's depicted in the movie was how it actually happened. And that's what he was talking about on the book. But again, I was quoting a book, and you're trying to like pin me down on quoting a book.
Let me watch this again and see if I'm doing that.
Stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said I wanted a myth for my people to live by.
Yeah.
So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish.
So then you say, but here's what they do.
And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible.
I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible.
Right. But they want to make it like more horrible.
But they want to make it more horrible.
That they can control people.
So that they can control people.
Right, but
Nick Fuentes agrees, by the way.
Wait, oh my gosh. 5 minutes before I say Sowell talks about this in his book. So I'm communicating in the interview that I'm quoting an author.
You're not being honest. You say they do this to. Okay, so you disavow. Just disavow it then. That's easy. Just say I don't think slavery was embellished. I mean, that's super easy. That's like a layup. Do you agree? You know what I mean? It's like just say you don't think slavery was embellished.
I think there are certain facts that you're not allowed to talk about. I don't really want to talk about it today.
But that Roots was what is a myth?
Again, there are certain facts you're not allowed to talk about, and I don't really feel like getting into it today.
Thomas Sowell compared Barack Obama to Adolf Hitler. Do you like that analogy? That's the author you're quoting. Do you think that's a fair analogy?
That's a quite one-sided way to write his whole work, but he wrote like 100 books.
Oh, I'm just asking you, do you agree with that statement? Barack Obama is comparable to Adolf Hitler.
No.
Okay. See, it's not hard. It's not hard. That's awesome. That's easy to do. You also said George Washington was viewed from his slaves like a father. I guess that's part of what the part of what the myth, I guess, is that not all slave owners were evil. Some were father figures like George Washington. Did you say that?
I don't remember.
I
think like if someone's a great and powerful man in history to the point like they're talking about him hundreds of years later, he didn't have any kids. But
did he own slaves?
What?
Did he own slaves? George Washington.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, not a real man to me. I'm just saying.
No, it's actually interesting. He had a different, like, he inherited his slaves, and it wasn't as simple as he could have just like let them go, because the debt that's incurred on them, like, you can't just release them. And so his slaves actually, like, he had a really good relationship with them, and they considered him like a dad. Mm-hmm.
What's your source for that?
That was from a Thomas Sowell book.
Thomas Sowell. So he's your guy. Thomas Sowell's the man. Thomas Sowell wrote a column about supporting segregation in public schools. George Washington.
You want me to apologize? Like, you want me to talk about every single one of this man's opinions?
No, I just want I just want to know what you think. Do you think racism was embellished? I mean, it's so easy. I mean, just say no.
I think okay. There was a time where I started to read accounts from actual slaves. So these were like in like and I can't really talk about this. Like, even if I talk about this now, they're going to clip it. They're going to say things I didn't say. But it's like, I used to read actual slave accounts, and I was surprised how many didn't say bad things about their owners after they were free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say, like, slavery was a horrible institution, but I can't talk about that fact without getting canceled. I can't say, hey, these slaves had a good relationship with their owners without getting canceled.
Because it's not true. Because it's just not true. It's not true. George Washington was not a father figure to his slaves.
Well, if you look up, like, I think it was Booker
47. Let's see, 47 of George Washington's slaves tried to escape. Would you try to escape if you loved your master?
Maybe that one was wrong. I don't know. This was like a little bit on a podcast months ago. I don't really remember, but and I said I wasn't sure if it was Washington either in that interview at some point. But
well, George Washington
was. I'm bringing up is I'm not even allowed to have this conversation without.
What do you mean not allowed?
That, but I mean, we're giving you the platform.
I mean, I got months of backlash for this. I'm now like you guys are kind of trying to do a gotcha moment.
No. I didn't know about the backlash.
Like, I promise. Not really.
I didn't know about the backlash. I promise I didn't.
Like, I had months.
I just want to know what you think.
Like, I had months of people, like, it's like if I have this conversation, I had months of people calling my employees slaves. Like, that's what they call, like,
that's horrible. Yeah, I disagree.
Horrible.
That sucks.
Horrible.
But at the same time,
and like even the guy, and you know this because you watched the video of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
The reaction you just showed, like, you're acting oblivious, so I didn't know that, but you do know that because the reaction you just watched was my former co-host who insinuated that my employees were being colonized.
Oh, I didn't know that. I promise.
So
I just wanted to get your take.
There.
Well, people say I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on this. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not, like, my channel isn't about slavery. That's like a fringe.
I know. I want to know about you.
But I'm asking, like, why are you bringing this up when that's not really what my channel is about?
I can only ask you things about. This is interesting. I want to ask you about it. But can only ask you things in a confined space about your channel?
You can, but you understand how that looks to me. It's like you're just trying to pick out every single.
Listen, Pearl. To be fair, to be totally fair, you could just say, "I don't think slavery was embellished."
Like you were
like
just
that's
talking
super
about,
easy. That's a layup for most people.
I was quoting a book. That's the crazy part. I was quoting a book.
So do you agree with his statement, though?
Do I think overall it was embellished? Some parts, sure.
There it is. Which parts?
Some parts.
No, please tell me which parts. Tell me.
I think that you can't. I think that certain slaves had good relationships with their owners. Not all, maybe not most, but I think some did.
And that just
and there are accounts of them saying this.
So some slaves had good relationships with their masters. Therefore, slavery was embellished.
You know how this is going to go for me. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. You know I can't have this conversation without them painting it a certain way.
Well, just own it then. Just do it. Just say what you want. You know what I mean? Just be red-pilled about it. Who is they? I don't know who's they. Just your haters or someone?
The left.
The left.
Do they have parentheses around the they? Just wondering.
Like, I mean, you even came in, like, you researched, like, my family. Like, that's weird.
How's that weird? It's all public. It's stuff you talked about. You literally
all the
talked
time.
about it. It's called preparation, which
No,
you
I
clearly
didn't.
done none of.
I didn't.
Like, you
talk
literally
about if
do
my
no
mom-
preparation,
I
and you
didn't talk
talk, like-
about. I didn't talk about if my mom was the president of like the company.
Where did we
You
find
would
that?
Find that on their
I
website.
just looked it up. I said I googled who
Yeah,
are your
but that's
parents,
the-
and it popped right up.
Is that
Yeah,
They're
that's not
famous.
weird?
They're relatively famous.
I didn't send a
He has
private
interviews
investigator.
on YouTube. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't send a private investigator to your house. I just did a little bit of research.
Public information.
Like, let me bring facts about your parents to
You,
this interview.
dude, you
It's
knew you were
like-
coming to talk to me for weeks.
Could have easily done that.
I
You're
know,
welcome
but I
to.
thought we were talking about the issues, not like my family.
We didn't talk about your family.
Family.
I was
yeah,
not-
I mean, you were even implying earlier.
First of all, it is relevant that your mom is the president when you're
No,
talking
but
about.
You didn't know any of the backlash I got.
Well, who cares? You said it. Just own it.
No,
Be red pill.
I'm asking. You didn't know any of the backlash
I didn't.
got.
I didn't know about it.
No idea. Even though you got that from a video that my ex co-host made about me.
Right. Right.
See, like this is dishonest. It's not honest.
But what's the problem? You're getting backlash for something that
no,
you
but,
think
But I'm
that
saying,
you think.
so you're like.
You
you're
think
not,
that.
you're not-
You brought your parents up when you were talking about hiring people, didn't you?
I said, I think it's a bit
You talk about your
disingenuous.
parents all the time. You talk about how your dad is rich. You did a tour of his whole barn with the bowling alley and fucking recreational
Did.
stuff in it. Like, why am I not allowed to
But I'm
talk
saying,
about
like you even just said that you knew, like because you got that clip from an like.
Okay, who cares?
We're not here to protect your reputation.
Yeah, I mean, who cares?
We
Let's
don't
say
care.
I didn't know about it to the extent that it was such an issue for you, but let's just say it was. I mean,
I do have to go though because I have a show coming up. So.
okay, let's just end on this note.
Mm-hmm.
Slavery was embellished because some masters had good relationships with their masters. Some slaves had good relationships with their masters.
All right.
But don't you see how easy it is to just say, I don't think it was embellished? I don't think it's a secret.
You guys act just like Abba and Preach.
Like,
you
Pearl.
act just like them.
Wait, Pearl, I don't think it's a secret that some masters had good relationships with their slaves. I don't think that's a secret. There's been a whole diverse.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on. But I'm gonna go. Thank you.
George.
Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate you. Okay.
She hung
Have
up.
a good night.
Have a good night.
She hung up.
Whoa.
I just
Hey, love.
Whoa.
I just don't
What's up, dude?
understand why you can't.
She was panicking at the end there. Holy shit. What the
Okay.
hell?
First of all, I genuinely did not know that it was such a sore point for her. I mean, it is a crazy thing to say.
I mean, she gets backlash all the time for all the things that she says. Why is that one so off limits?
That I don't know.
I mean, I can guess because it's fucking insane. But
like I mean, yeah, that's. But
I'm gonna let the children out of.
You know, I tried to nail her down on things as I do here, but ultimately,
chat, you're free.
Dude, I've been wondering what the fuck that noise is the whole time. I could not pay attention because I just heard crunching.
There's a lot.
Oh, what the fuck?
When the
Wait,
fuck did
who's
you
that?
get here?
well, have you been here the whole time? Who let this idiot in?
Who let him in? How'd you get past security?
Who gave him food? That's our snacks, bro.
I
That's
literally got those
budgeted in.
yesterday.
Take those away from him, Ian. Why are you letting him eat your snacks?
I told him to stop, and he said Ethan doesn't need these.
Stop what?
anymore.
I've lost a lot of weight, you fucking piece of shit.
Stop.
Let's see who's fatter now. All right, why are you here? Did you just get back from like
What?
Siberia or whatever the fuck you cheaply record shit because you're broke?
What'd you say? I can't hear you back here, bro. Does someone have headphones for me or something?
You can't hear him? He's like 10 feet away.
What'd you say?
Give him the fucking
Don't
headphones.
touch my...
Jesus Christ.
Get out of here, AB.
Why are you even here, dude?
What? I was in the neighborhood. I stopped by to get some snacks.
Some snacks.
What? Everybody knows you guys got the best snacks here.
I mean, everybody does know that, but
We do
Well,
have bomb
I
snacks.
don't know.
We do have really good snacks.
What'd you say?
I don't know, man. Just listen, dude. You're supposed to listen when I talk. People.
No, it's hard when I'm eating.
I was saying, what did you just get back from Siberia, where like you?
It's called Serbia, dude.
Right, Serbia.
Ever heard of it?
So what do you do there? You just pay people no money to do your dumb jobs?
I was making epic music videos, bro.
Why do you go to Serbia?
You ever seen the buildings in Serbia?
What about them?
They're fucking crazy, dude. Nothing like it anywhere. Brutalist architecture.
Do
is
you
fucking
believe that
phenomenal.
slavery was embellished?
Definitely not.
Thank you. See how easy that is?
That was so easy, dude.
It's so easy. How can you possibly say slavery was embellished? I mean, sorry, I didn't get to debrief, Oliver, from the conversation we had.
These buildings are fucking.
Okay, that is.
Don't talk about that.
Wait, what the fuck? Why is Serbia? Who's building those?
I don't know.
What's your problem, AB?
Can you stop chewing in the mic?
I'm not chewing in the mic.
Is it? This is
My
just.
problem is you're two-faced, bro.
What?
Yeah, he didn't stutter. You heard what he said?
No, I didn't hear it. I was chewing.
All right.
Pretended to support me for my fight and then went and supported my opponent.
Oh, shit.
What? I'm friends with Dad. What's that have to do with anything?
Oh, he did a dad video.
Yeah.
What
Saying
makes
that
sense?
I'm gonna lose.
Forgot about that betrayal.
Ethan, I can't hear you from back here. Can I come sit up there?
I set up headphones for you.
I prefer you don't.
Is there room for me?
No.
All right. Yeah, Ian says I can come up, dude. He just invited me.
The mic doesn't work and the seat's broken.
Ian, what do you think? Yeah, he's saying there's probably room up there.
I don't think so. The chair.
You guys have any more of those?
This mic doesn't
Coca-Cola?
work, right, Zach? This one's broken.
Unfortunately, it does not work. Yeah.
It doesn't turn on. Here comes the clown show.
Love this song.
What's up?
Psych! Bitch!
Dude, it's actually your clown outfit's really suiting the music.
Thank you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, not as good now.
Okay. Looked like you're having fun out there.
Yeah. So do you think George Washington was homies with all of his slaves?
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
What's going on here? Sorry to kill the vibe. Looks like you guys are having fun over here.
Well, I wanted to debrief a little bit from that conversation. Do you mind if I do that with you here?
Yeah.
Are you not in a hurry, are you?
Well, I'm pretty much, I'm running late for another interview.
Go ahead, leave.
All right.
Go do that.
Well, I've been waiting for like 6 hours, so I'll sit this out. Let's hear it.
You know, it's funny how that last part tripped her up so bad. It's just, I've never even heard that take that slavery was embellished. It's so well documented. It's so well accounted for. It's so well understood. It's literally the owning of human beings. They were allowed to be fucking killed, raped, sold, separated from their families. George Washington, literally, as to punish his runaway slaves, he would recapture them and sell them off to the West Indies, which is effectively a death sentence in severe conditions where the enslaved were subjected to. He would sell them off to the West Indies Company. Like, how is that embellished? Because roots is a myth? But surely he meant mythology, right? When he says myth. I don't even know if he said that. Roots was a myth? Like, what does that even mean? Roots...
Oh, there was some whole controversy that because the dude who wrote it said it was from research from his own family, but then some people found there were some inconsistencies with it or whatever.
Who gave you that?
I'm pretty
Coke
sure that's
Zero?
what they're talking about.
Is pickle juice? What the hell is this? I love pickle juice.
Oh, you want a bubby? I could go for a bubby. Can we get some bubbies out
Have
here?
some of this. Try that.
Wait, you brought this?
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro?
That's what your team's giving me, pickle
Okay,
juice.
good job, you guys. That is actually pickle juice.
And I love pickle juice.
Oh,
man.
that juice, huh?
It's so good. How we doing?
Can we get some bubbies out here?
Hey, more pickle juice. Bring it over.
All right, we'll bring out the bubbies. We'll bring out the
So
bubbies.
because this guy didn't base Roots on a true story, then slavery is embellished?
I think it's more complicated than that. It's not like he made it up, but like...
Well,
'cause
who
he
cares? We
supposedly-
know that it's real.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We know.
I mean, obviously people were enslaved, so...
I mean, just see what was happening in the 1950s. They were just hanging black people, like... And that embellished? Yeah, she's from... What state is she from?
Illinois. She
comes...
from
Oh, it's
Chicago,
suburb of
I think.
Chicago, right.
Yeah.
She's from an obscenely rich family. And they're also the what?
Which again, she was like trying to make it sound like we like hired a PI to follow her or something. I literally just Googled her name, parents. They're prominent figures.
They're bakers?
No, I said they're prominent figures.
Yeah. And she talks about them all the time. Anyway, we can talk about that later. So what do you want? Are you here to promote something? Why are you here?
No, not at all. I'm just in the neighborhood. Thought I'd come by, get some snacks.
What's with the new look?
Some stuff I've been designing.
Looks great, dude. You gonna sell that?
Probably not.
Kind of hype.
I designed it myself. I've been designing. Been kind of living overseas. So I haven't really been around much. How you been?
I'm been fine. Getting sued. I got kids, you know, the usual stuff.
How my godchildren doing?
Same too.
Michael and Bruce?
Jesus, man.
What? You want some?
No.
What's new?
Do you like the pickles?
Pickles are all right. I'm more into the juice.
What you keep asking me? What's new? How many times I need to answer?
What's
that?
new?
Nothing. Nothing's new. What's
Still
new with
same
you?
shitty little show?
What's new with you? You're in Serbia doing videos and shit. And now you're back.
No,
Okay.
I'm back briefly. I'm about to go to Croatia.
Seriously?
Hmm?
Why do you keep going to all these countries like that?
I love it, man. I've been chilling out, hiding out. I'm kind of laying low from the IRS.
Oh shit! I see.
Yeah, you know the deal.
Got you.
Yeah, I was in Brazil for a while.
Mhm.
Crazy out there, Rio
They'll
de
get you,
Janeiro.
though. The IRS still get you.
Yeah, well, I don't technically live anywhere, so it's hard to track me down. Kind of off the grid right now.
What's the age of consent in Brazil?
All right, dude. You would like to know, you freaking pervert.
I'm just trying to investigate the reason you're there.
Hey, check out some of the architecture in Croatia.
I know, that's why I'm going. Scope out some
I didn't know you were
locations.
such a big Arca head, you know?
Bro, I've been getting super into it.
Yeah?
But yeah, mainly right now, brutalist style. Really into the concrete stuff.
Yeah, the brutalist stuff, yeah.
I was just in Hungary, Budapest.
Oh,
crazy,
a lot of that
crazy
out there,
building.
yeah.
Is that like? Did you skin PewDiePie's gaming chair? What is going on here with your?
What are you talking about? I designed this myself.
Really? Because I thought PewDiePie put this shit on a chair like 10 years ago.
Who's PewDiePie?
Good one.
I'm serious. But yeah, just been chilling. Basically, heading to Colorado tomorrow. About to play this show, Red Rocks.
Oh, for real?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
How many tickets? How many people there?
9,000. We still got a couple last tickets left, but
Is it a festival or just you?
it's me. Headline show. I got this guy.
9,000?
9,000. Wow.
Good for you, bro.
Pretty
Thank
good.
you. Yep. It's me, Ty Verdes, Upsal, and then Little Ricky, and also super secret, crazy ass group, Supercomputer, opening up. So got a pretty special little thing going on there. And yeah, I've been working on the show for like 5 years. That's part of what I've been.
Are you going to take
Is there hair in the pickle juice?
No.
We got, like, been working on the show. It's basically like a mixture of like a movie, TV show, concert, and Broadway play. So it's kind of like the future of art, in my opinion. But yeah, it's just fucking been bleeding out. But can you stop with the little? I like the sound, but I'm trying to talk right now.
You also
bro.
did a video with Eric who called me ugly. Did you
Well,
know
he
that?
was. Yeah, he's right about that.
Okay.
Look
You
at us.
look-
We're both pretty ugly.
Okay, I'm fine. I don't call you
Okay.
ugly to your
Nothing
face.
wrong with being ugly, man.
You
Ugly is
disgusting
beautiful.
fat bitch.
I am. Technically speaking, I did a BMI, a body mass index, and
What was it?
I'm 33%, so technically obese.
Yo, you have more body. I'm not doing that again. You have more body mass than me. I just went to the doctor. Mine's like 30.
Woo!
I'm not touching you. You lost that
All
opportunity
right.
after
Well,
you burned
congrats.
me.
You've been getting slim. I like it. Looking
think I
good.
look- do I
Looking
look
sharp.
good?
I like
so.
it. You look great.
You're at 33 BMI.
Well, 34 probably by now after all these pickles.
Pickles have 0 calories.
Well, I think it's, I don't know. But yeah, been enjoying life, trying to have fun. But yeah, I've been working on the show, and basically I invested $4.5 million into this concert, so I'm
Is that
pretty
right?
excited. Yeah. Well,
Is it a tour or just this one show?
just one show. It's my last show ever.
Oh, right. One of those.
I'm serious. It's the only tour I'm doing. It's a single
Can
tour.
you move into frame, moron?
Am I out of frame?
Yeah, the preview monitor.
I mean, you're like as far away as you can possibly be.
Is that better?
It's not better. That's the opposite direction of what we need you to do.
Why don't you say? Is that better? Dude, there's something in these pickles. You should try the juice.
No. You ruined that whole jar, by the way.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm about to finish them. I'm going to kill them.
Was that a bad faith interview with Pearl?
Absolutely not.
I
There
mean,
was so much more you could have said, especially on the points of her talking about people being lazy when she comes from a wealthy family. You were being very nice about that, I think. If you really wanted to just embarrass her, I feel like you could have on multiple occasions.
I wanted to hear her thoughts on the Jews.
I know she got some, huh?
Yeah, and not to mention, on that last point, there's a lot more stuff you could have talked about with the whole Nick Fuentes situation.
I didn't even ask about Nick Fuentes because I knew that was like whatever, dead horse for her, whatever. But I mean, I just showed her stuff she said and asked her to justify it. The thing I noticed about her when watching a lot of her videos that I tried to nail her down on is like she says a lot of stuff like, I feel this to be true. And nobody ever challenges her on it, you know? And her basically her whole fucking platform is built on, I feel this to be true.
I feel this.
But ultimately, I do think she is like, we use the word grifter a lot. I do believe she is in the sense that, bro, can you fucking...
What, dude? AB brought it.
Take this, please.
Give me that back.
Shut
Don't
the
you...
fuck up. Bring your own pickles, moron.
AB, don't you dare. Bro, there's still 2 good ones in there.
Throw it out.
Don't throw
Put
it
it
out.
in the food blender. Or the drain, whatever the fuck. I think she's actually a grifter, like in the true sense, in that the one thing she always talks about is like how life is not fair for men, dating isn't fair for men. She literally just echoes stuff that like Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate say because she's like a token woman. She gives credibility to their arguments because like, see, here's a woman that believes that too. Are you throwing shit on my floor?
No.
You know the dogs are here. My dog has
Where
kidney
are they?
problems.
Can we bring the
He's
dogs
gonna
out?
He's gonna. No, they're not here right now. But if my dog comes and he has kidney problems, he eats your fucking
You just
pickle
said they're
stem.
here. I want to see them.
Do you not care about the pickle stem?
Dude, I didn't do anything.
You threw a pickle stem.
I didn't do shit.
Can we get Swami in here, please, with his loaded
How
weapon?
is Swami? Is Swami here?
Yeah, he's coming to kill you. He shoots to kill.
I like that guy.
Yeah, so I think she's just literally a token. Like her commitment to hating women and like excusing men is phenomenal. And she's made a nice little career out of it. I think her moment is fading. But I see her all the time on like TikTok and highlights and YouTubes of her just saying like the most obscene shit. And of course, it has no backing. It's on the thinnest pretense. It's on no pretense. And, you know, when I bring these people on, they really can't support their positions, and they end up just leaving. They just end up leaving in frustration.
Yeah. And she shows no mercy when it comes to other people, like telling a girl that she's on antidepressants because she's on OnlyFans.
She's nasty.
Like, yeah, she holds no punches, so
I thought it was pretty ironic how she was like, this isn't fair that you're asking me to rate myself. I was like, oh, really?
Right.
Because you do that every fucking day. Dude, what is wrong with you, man?
I feel that with like
all over. He's like belching over there.
There's like half water in there. I don't know how the fuck you're drinking that.
That is pickle juice.
You don't look well.
He's not well. He hasn't been well. All right, so what do you? So when's some shit coming out? You want people to buy tickets? What do you want people to
Let's see. What's going on?
do? Just plug whatever so you can leave.
What's new?
Well, playing the show June 20th at Red Rocks. It's probably going to be the future blueprint of the future of concerts and movies. It's basically this new template. I think it's about.
And another thing, Ethan, is you could have brought up so much more about
What's
like
up
her
with the
takes
music?
on
I'm in
like,
the middle of fucking talking. June 20th.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I just remembered like that she had like some bad takes about therapy too. You could have definitely brought those up.
Yeah.
You know, and you have I think, you know, experience, so you would be right to talk about it. But yeah, I mean there's so much more we could have said.
Yeah, she's pretty vile.
Yeah.
But again, I felt the interview was fair. And if she thought that question was like gonna get her in trouble, just say that slavery wasn't embellished.
Yeah.
But I guess Nick Fuentes is watching like,
That's who she was texting with.
I loved that clip. It pans over to Nick Fuentes agreeing. He's like, she gets it. She gets it. Yeah. Here, let me pull that up again because I thought it was just so funny.
Oliver, somebody DM me said they're going to be at your show.
Really? Who's that?
Nick Fuentes.
That is not who it was.
Pearl and Nick are coming.
Just a random fan of ours. One of
Really?
our
No
members.
shit. You guys got fans here.
Can they refund that or not yet? Or
There's
no refund.
No refunds on the tickets. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's gonna be epic. Ethan, do you think maybe you and the crew can take your little vacay out there?
Where's Red?
Did you guys do your trip to Japan, or where'd you guys go? Legoland?
We're going to Bahamas in.
Bahamas.
We are
no
going to
shit.
the Bahamas.
No
January.
shit.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start this trip early. Head to Red Rocks, June
Where's
20th.
Red Rocks?
Colorado. Baby. It's like the greatest outside amphitheater ever.
I've actually always wanted to go.
It's
That is
basically
very
like-
cool that you're playing Red Rock.
Like
Very,
the
very
Grand Canyon, dude. I would love for you guys to be there, and I got free tickets for every single person in this crew right
Yeah,
here.
we've heard that before.
I gave you guys tickets before. Ethan always just comes up with some kind of.
Oh, this is
there's
fire,
some-
actually. Shit.
Check this out.
That looks super cool.
Yeah. The guys who did South Park, they just did a show here, a little concert.
Oh,
It's their
nice.
hometown. But yeah, I'm pumped, man.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Give me 9,000 of the most diehard
So
Oliver
wait,
Tree
we
fans.
need-
Probably a couple H3 fans, maybe sprinkled in there. You know, there's
Literally
a lot of Teddy Fresh.
90%. Nobody goes to your show.
That'll probably be what it looks like. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, there's gonna be some Teddy Fresh in that audience. There always is. They'll probably have some signs. You know, fuck Ethan Klein, fuck H3H3. They try to get me to chant that usually.
Right.
And we do. We tend to.
This is actually, that is insanely beautiful.
I know. I wish you could be there, man. I wish all of you could be there.
It'd be
Yeah, we actually have a live show next week as well. Just
No
a few days
shit.
after this, so unfortunately,
I wish
we're
I
gonna be
could
a little
make it.
busy.
When is it?
23rd.
Saw you had an Alex Party little flyer. That dude's a legend.
Oh, yeah. Alice Party did our art. Isn't that dope?
He's amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah.
He's really dope.
Thank you for saying
I
that.
used to be a big fan of him when I was really young, and I went to have him sign one of my Alex Party shirts.
He's a great guy. He's a fan of the show. I have a bunch of his original art, too. Not a
crazy.
bunch. Two.
It's nothing. I've got like 5 or 6.
a bunch.
You want to see the painting I got? I really like it.
Yeah. I want to see it.
Check this out. This is in my living room.
Holy crap.
It's massive, too.
That looks crazy.
Here we are. So sick.
That is wild.
My favorite piece of art that I bought.
That's epic.
Thanks. So are you here on the 23rd? We were wondering if you
No,
wanted
I'm
to
gonna
join us.
I'm going to Croatia right after my little show on Red Rocks on the 20th. Can you stop with the little honking? But yeah, besides that, I got new music video that I filmed in Serbia coming out on the 20th as well. So it's gonna be a big day kind of show. I'm gonna play some unreleased music at the show. Basically, I made it into this whole feature film though. It's 2 hours long, so I've been busting my
Dude,
balls.
that reminds me, Ethan, I can't believe how much Bruce is walking now. He came in here yesterday
Oh
with
my
Eli.
God. Hold on. Hold on. Here is what really happened.
See, it wasn't as bad. People are smiling.
Yeah, Bruce he's been walking for a while. He's slick, man. He's starting to talk.
I'm calling him the boss baby from now on.
I heard you guys were calling him boss.
He's
baby.
boss baby because he looks just like you.
That's so funny.
He was walking around the studio. He was looking at me. I'm like, I'm just looking at baby Ethan.
Isn't he so cute?
Yeah.
He's like so sweet.
He kept
I
looking
just-
at us and he goes like this, like he's.
Oh, he loves clapping.
Yeah.
He just learned to clap. Yeah, he is so sweet. Oh my
He's
God.
so agile. He didn't fall one time.
He's fearless,
Mhm.
and it's fucked up.
Such
It
a
is
good
fucked
baby.
up.
Okay, well, yeah, what were you talking about? Go ahead, Ian, with the make it more watchable thing. Go
What's
ahead.
going on?
No, you were talking about your concert, Serbia, whatever.
Serbia, yeah.
Just do your plug.
I've been
Croatia, or you're going to
designing-
Croatia.
Yeah, I actually have this new company I think is going to give Teddy Fresh a run for their money.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
My new clothing line. Wait, what is going on here, dude? Can you please remove that off the screen?
It's just our viewers are very, they're very like ADD. They have a hard time focusing on the show, so it's helpful.
I'm doing.
Move that right now.
Listen, if that wasn't on there, everyone would have clicked on.
Remove it right now, Ethan. This isn't fucking cool.
Just stop, bro.
You invited me on after 2
I did not
fucking
invite
years.
you on.
You invited me on.
No. You showed up.
Pull that off right now. Take this off.
That's helping people watch,
Thank
man.
you. That's better. Can we move it over to the right a little bit?
All right, are you done? Do you want to plug anything else? I mean,
Yeah, just been having a good life, man. Hey, what's going on here? Don't remove me off the fucking screen, dude. This is fucking bullshit.
hold on, we're having a technical issue. Oh, we got a technical issue?
Can y'all fix that, or is that like a technical issue?
It's a technical issue.
Okay, hold on. We got just a little technical issue here.
We have some technical issue, it sounds like.
What do we do about it?
What are we going to do about it? Stop. Seriously.
Stop what? I'm not doing shit, dude.
Don't do that.
Don't do
Why
what?
did you do that?
Don't do that. I'm
I
serious.
didn't do anything.
Oliver's slamming the button and holding it down.
No, I didn't do anything. You started being disrespectful to me on the podcast when you invited me here as a guest.
I did
like
not
what you
invite
do
you.
to every other guest. You just come on here and you stop with the sounds, dude.
I did not invite you on.
You invited me on, and your little buddies over there, Ethan, Dan, whoever.
Show me proof that I invited
How
you
am
on.
I here right now if you didn't invite
You
me?
showed
How did I
up.
get in the building?
You fucking showed
I
up.
don't know.
The door code's changed since you gave them to me last year.
Okay.
So explain that. Riddle me that.
You know what? Fuck you, dude, because you ruined you ruined my fucking Thanos snap joke by hitting that
give a
fucking
shit,
button,
dude.
man. It didn't make the cut.
No, you stay the fuck out. It's between me and Ethan.
Do you want to tell it again?
Yeah. So well, it doesn't work the same.
No
but
one gives a shit, dude.
all right, wait.
I'm about to hit that.
Ian,
fucking
could you
button
cover
again.
him? Could you cover him again so I could say it again?
Do not.
Don't
No, I want him to
fucking
be.
cover me
I need
right
him
now,
to be
dude.
erased.
Don't get
Don't
physical.
fucking get physical with me.
Don't get physical.
I came here
swear to God.
and you come and disrespect me on your fucking
Just
show.
chill, dude.
No, you.
Dude, you cuts the whole thing. Don't you understand? You literally just cut the whole thing. The bit doesn't work if you come and push the button, Oliver. They didn't see any of that now.
I don't care.
You should care. That whole fight sequence was cut. Thanks, genius.
Fucking dumbass idiot, bro. Loser.
Oliver was attacking me. He was getting physical. I had to respond in force. And Oliver pushed the button, which unfortunately erased the evidence of this crime. Yeah. But we do have it on backup, and I will be filing a police report. Is he still in the office?
Yeah, he is. He's over there.
Love, can you escort him out, please?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Can we get a shot of Love escorting him out? Dude, this is always the problem. Every time he comes here, he takes shit too far. He gets too emotional. You started being violent. Why do you get physical? That's not what I'm about, dude. Why do you force me to beat your ass? Like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, you cut it out. What's the point of even coming here if you're just going to hit the button like a moron? Okay. Well, it's on video. We have the backup video, dumbass. I am filing a police report. And I have many witnesses. Idiot. Fucking dumbass. Yeah, anybody who's going to that dumbass show, charge back. If you can't get a refund, charge back. Okay? Contact the venue, though. What's the name of the venue again?
Red Rocks. June 20th.
Can I get a refund on my ticket at Red Rocks? Okay, so according to this, they have insurance. Can I cancel or refund my ticket if your bet has been canceled? Yeah, you can get refunds, you guys. Is he escort? Thank you. Love, escort him out, please. They can't hear, but Love, escort him out, please. Oliver's being a pain in the ass. He's trying to fight a fucking robot, moron.
Yeah, he's literally trying to fight me right now. Dumbass.
Just, bro, why are you still here? I want you to leave. This is my property. I'm asking you to leave. I'm asking you to leave. Please leave. Please leave.
Hey, I don't see why Love has to be a dick about it. I literally
Please leave. Please leave. Leave. Call the police. Someone call the police. Why do you take shit too far, bro? I don't want the police involved here. Escort him out, Love, and make sure he leaves.
Yeah, I'm on it. It's fucking dumb.
Tell me when he's outside the gate.
Yeah.
Fucking moron, dude. It's so fucked up. Why is he always got to get physical, man? How to get a refund. Do you know what ticket agency they're doing at the Red Rock thing?
I believe it's Access.
It's Access? Okay.
Yeah.
How to get a refund from Access. Wait, Access? Is that a real thing?
AXS.
How's it?
AXS.
Oh, AXS. Got it. So here's how we cancel or refund tickets. This is important for anyone who bought tickets to his show. Oh, fuck. It says all sales are final. Okay, so what you need to do is call your bank and say it was fraudulent.
Or if you purchase on a credit card, you can, get the charge back.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Is he gone?
He's gone.
Yeah, he's
He
off.
left.
Do you know how he got in?
I legitimately don't. Like, we have security doors where you have to like have a passcode to get in or whatever. I don't. I might have to like ask around Teddy Fresh if somebody opened the
We
door
can
for him
check
or
the
something.
access history.
We can check the logs.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe it was like someone was just out there and.
He just kind of snuck in.
Yeah, it's like an
Just
apartment
like
thing.
followed somebody else in. We got to be more careful about that.
I just checked that the lock is actually off our roof, so he somehow got onto
He
the
came
roof.
in through the roof?
Yeah, and climbed down the ladder.
What the fucking?
He's such a moron. He kept hitting the button.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he understands what he's doing.
I don't think he understands at all.
Fucking dumbass, dude.
I don't think he understands at all.
All right. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, we just got a $100 super chat.
Rachel Harris says.
Yeah, from the. Go ahead.
Sending some love. Y'all played my game cameo the other day.
Gabe. I think it's just. a
Oh,
typo.
Gabe. Shout out to my bestie Teddy for getting it for me. Make me feel better. You guys always make me laugh. I'm a mortician apprentice. Yo, that's a gnarly job. And I listen to the show to relax. Is she the one whose dog died or something? Or what was it?
Sorry about your mom disowning you for being a queer.
Oh, that one.
Oh, is it that one? Well,
That's rough.
Rachel, I'm sorry about. I don't even want to say it. So
That's rough.
sorry about your mom disowning you for being queer. That is horrible.
That's rough. And I mean, genuinely though, like leaving a pickle stem on the floor here.
Oh, come on. No, that's not cool. It's not cool.
You know how much salt is in this thing? Like Shredder cannot
Shredder
eat this.
cannot eat that. Does he even watch the show? Does he know anything about Shredder? Probably not.
Such an idiot.
Moron. Dumbass.
Such a fucking idiot. Hate that guy.
Pussy.
He won't even come to our show and he goes, "Oh, please come to my show. Please come to my show." It's like, bitch, what have you ever done for me? Fake friends.
Also, it's outside. Kind of poor, I think. No roof. What if it rains, dude?
True. Where's the roof? Dumbass.
Yeah, where's the roof?
I only go to venues with roofs, moron.
Me too.
Oh, there's Andrew Tate news. People are saying he was officially charged. That's fire.
So I saw something just the other day about the charges being upgraded, that he was being investigated for like serial sex trafficking instead of. I was confused by it. It was like apparently before he was being investigated for a series of individual sex trafficking cases, and now they upgraded it to him being like a serial sex trafficker. But that was like 2 days ago. So let me see if there's like
As a what?
new
How?
news.
How's that? Yeah. No, you did a lot of sex trafficking as opposed to just a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. Andrew Tate served with legal letter of claim alleging sexual assault and physical abuse. Wait, so is this maybe something different?
A new charge? He's fucked.
Oh wait, these are charges in the UK.
Yo, the UK. Do they have extradition with
Romania?
Romania?
Probably.
Because it's all Europe, right?
Yeah, probably. Since
Well,
it's Europe.
Britain did leave the EU.
Right.
So maybe not.
But they probably have an extradition agreement with Europe.
You people are not.
I would imagine so.
Google it.
I don't know. Yeah. I'll,
Yo, UK charges on top G.
Yeah, 4 women in the UK are now united to prepare legal action against Andrew Tate. Wait, so this sounds like maybe it's a lawsuit, not criminal charges, just based off of the
That
top
does
line
sound
here.
like it, yeah.
Legal firm with a legal letter of claim at his Bucharest residence while he's serving house arrest, pending charges of human trafficking. Wow.
Thank you.
Just all coming down for old Tatey boy.
So anyway, let's talk about the Pearly thing. I just find it so interesting. Like, clearly she knows who I am and the conversations I've had with people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why these people don't come at least a little prepared.
That's a very good question. I genuinely thought that she would be more prepared. Like from the content that we've watched of hers, she's always throwing out stats and everything.
It's all made up.
I don't want to say it's all made up, but I think a lot of it is misinterpreted. A lot of it is exaggerated.
Well, she has a repertoire. She has like a dialogue tree that she sticks to.
Yeah, and I mean, for instance, there was like the dating app thing, and she made a claim. We tried to find the source of that claim. We found a similar claim that was kind of saying the same thing and presented that to her, and she didn't really refute that. It seemed like even she wasn't sure if we were talking about the same study. It seems like this is a lot of her opinions are based on vibes.
That was one of my high arching themes, you know. Yeah. Also the wage gap thing, she straight up was like, it's 3%. I was like, okay, great.
Also, a lot of her opinions go against her own best interest. Like the way that she said, women are all emotional. That's literally like, they're all emotional. And then she goes, Ethan, let's argue. And so you rightfully will be like, well, what you just said is arguing from emotion, pointing out the irony and also the fact that she was. And she would just be like, why would you even say that?
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll be like, 21 is way better than 26. I'm 26, by the way. It's just like, I don't.
She's a fraud. She's a grifter.
She has nothing to stand on.
That's something we didn't get into. My takeaway from the last 2 days of looking into her, I don't know this for sure, and I know you didn't necessarily agree with me, Ethan, but I think it's all fake. I think it's a put on. I don't think I think she cynically is just leaning into it to get traction on the internet and has been very successful on it. It's just like, because when you started drilling down on some of those things, like you said, the gender gap, the wage gap thing, it's like she makes these definitive statements. It's a myth. And then you ask her about it, and almost immediately she admits that it exists. It's just not a big deal. So why do you say...
It's a myth. It's not a myth. 3% is a lot. Who wants to make 3% less over their lifetime?
Right. Which, again, just to me screams grifter. I don't know.
Yeah, her ex-best friend made a video that went pretty viral. And she was like, I had 22 years of friendship with this girl, and not once did she ever have beliefs like these.
I saw that stuff, and of course I didn't bring it up because, again, I wanted to argue in good faith. I'm just like, let's just talk about stuff she said.
Yeah, and that's...
For example, slavery was embellished.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I don't know. I thought she made a pretty good point when she said,
A lot of people in the chat asking if saying they thought she was like high or something. I don't think so.
No.
I thought it was crazy.
She did seem a little out of it, but I think it was more just she was very nervous.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I thought right out the gate when she like dropped her first hot take and she was just like, divorce should be banned. I was like, is she serious right now?
Yeah,
what is
that's
happening?
The thing. It just seems like I'm just going to say this extreme thing because I know it's going to get a rise out of people.
100%.
So when I was prepared to ask her about those kind of statements, I was expecting her to kind of walk them back and be like, that's just a joke. I don't really believe that.
Right.
But she goes, no, divorce should be totally illegal. But then when you prod just a tiny bit, she goes, okay, fine. There's some exceptions, but why do we have to focus on the exceptions? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The exceptions matter. They matter a lot. That's kind of like why there are rules to shit. So it's fair for everybody.
Yeah, and like the other big one that jumps out to me is like, I don't think women should have the right to vote. She really believe that? I know she insists that she does, but it's like...
It goes nowhere, though. I say, okay, why? They don't sign up for selective service. Do you think women should serve in the military? No.
Also, who says she's competent enough as a woman to make that judgment?
She's clearly
not.
not. I'll tell you why. Because she's single as shit, and by her own logic, she sucks. Because first of all, why is she giving women advice when her ass is single? By the own logic, she's a low-value woman. She shouldn't be giving anyone advice.
And also when she's talking about virginity and she's like, I'm not. Like, what are you preaching for? Like, why are you telling girls to be virgins if you're like, not me though.
Because that's
suck,
what
though.
men want.
She does
Men
the
want
round.
virgins.
She brings men on her show. I never saw one single reasonable guy. It's all like fresh and fit, dating red pill guys who are like, if I was in love with a woman with 20 bodies, I wouldn't marry her. It's like, are you fucking nobody?
I'm in love with her, but I wouldn't allow myself
No.
to be happy because
Like,
of
no-
this
like, I'm
arbitrary
sorry.
statistic.
Men do not, in general, I don't care. And by the way, it's like, you can logically think through it and think, one, it's not fair. It's hypocritical to say it doesn't matter for men body count, but it matters for women. And she'll bypass all that by saying, no, I don't care about what's right or wrong. It's just about what men want. It's like, men don't want that. I genuinely think that men don't care.
I don't know. Yeah.
It sounded like everything was probably based in a self-hatred type. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Why is
that Oliver? What is happening?
Oh my God.
Dude, what did you do?
Get off.
Hila's here.
Oh my God.
Oh fuck.
Seriously, stop.
Oh my God, Hila, you're hurting him.
You're hurting me. Stop. Seriously, I didn't do anything.
Why are you bringing him here, man?
Stop. I didn't do shit.
Bro.
Stop.
No, just leave. Why is
I'm
he
not
sitting
fucking
down?
doing anything.
Call the police. Why
Get
are
me
police
out of
not
here.
here?
I'm done, dude. I'm fucking done. Hila, get him off.
AB, take him out, please. Choke him out. Choke him out, bro.
Shit.
Choke him out.
Stop. Oh, what can you leave this? Shut the fuck up. Stop. Get him off me. Get him off me. Stop. Ethan, do something.
Yeah, I do, kind of.
Please stop. Stop. Please stop. Stop him out. Stop him out. Stop his ass.
All right, can you leave, please? Call the fucking police. Call the fire marshal. I don't care. Why are you guys not calling the police? Why is he back?
I didn't do shit. Hila gave me the jacket.
Why is he wearing the Pope jacket?
He came in, started stealing stuff. He stole the jacket, and then he stole some sweaters, and he ran out of the office into the street. He did. He really did. And he was hiding behind a car.
We need pictures of him, like, don't let this man in. He was in here. He got physical with me.
Yeah. He gets
I don't know
physical
what to
with
say.
everybody, this guy.
I don't know what to say. So according
taking
to
care
Pearl,
of it. Let me be the first to
according
apologize.
to Pearl, a woman in a relationship with him can't get a divorce. Nice. Nice.
Oh my
Yeah, that's
God,
fucked up.
girl.
Did you watch any of that?
I watched like the beginning 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes, I think.
Oh, you saw the last 3 minutes were good. With
Yeah.
the slavery was exaggerated.
Oh shit, I didn't see that.
Oh, that was the.
Oh god.
That's what we
She
ended
stormed
on.
off.
She decided to leave after we started asking.
You want to see the
about that.
clip?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to watch it again anyway. Is he gone, Lena?
I sure hope so.
God damn. Wait, did we get the puffer back before we left?
The whole
I don't even
thing
know where my
was-
camera's at right now, dude.
Thank you, AB.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it.
I was listening when she was talking about pregnancy, and I was like, "Bitch, when did you carry a baby? And tell me how was that for you?"
Right.
Yeah, she's not married. She's single.
She's not
doesn't
gonna
have
be
any
having babies
kids.
anytime soon. She's single as shit.
It's like.
Her whole energy is just giving me like she's just trying to get laid with some guys. She thinks she's like being the cool girl.
Pick me girl / grifter all coming together.
Yeah.
Here, check out this
A
tape.
beautiful
And she
melting
goes, I
pot.
didn't say that. I was quoting a book. Tell me what you think. By the way, Nick Fuentes is sitting next to her nodding like, yeah.
Sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was,
right,
but they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Wow.
Pretty wild, eh?
And she took it back.
No, she wouldn't even say. I was like, do you think slavery was embellished? And she wouldn't answer. I was like, just say no. It's
Right.
a layup for almost everybody in the world.
Right.
And she's like, I feel like you're doing a gotcha. I was like, you said it.
Did the Holocaust happen? I mean, there's only one answer.
That I should have asked.
That should have been the next
I
question.
should have asked, yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
okay, there she goes. Oh yeah, so she was saying women shouldn't have the right to vote because
She did? Wait, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, yeah. She says,
I just heard when it was frustrating me when she kept saying that women have all the choices when it comes to pregnancy. And it's like, well, fuck. If the guy could be pregnant, I'd choose that, you know? If I had all the choices, if it was all up to me.
well, also, what is she saying? That a man can choose to terminate the baby in woman's body? Like, are you? That's not like.
No, she
serious?
the opposite. She
Yeah.
wants you to keep the baby against your will.
Exactly.
Right.
And
yeah, she
that-
didn't say that.
Having gone through 2 pregnancies, that I cannot imagine going through that against your will. That is just insanity. It's barbaric.
So,
It's my body. I'll do whatever the fuck
There
I
you go.
want.
No, it's Pearl.
There it is.
No, it's Pearl's body.
And there it is.
Hila's always right. It's true.
Did you ask Pearl before you got that abortion? Is there someone you forgot to ask?
Well, and the thing is her stance is so extreme that, like, I thought it was good how you, Ethan, even granted her the pro-life position.
Right.
You're like, let's just accept.
Yeah.
Let's just go with it. That abortion is murder and that's a life and it shouldn't happen or
Oh
whatever.
God, I put the pickle juice in my fucking soda. God damn it, dude. He's not even here and he's ruining my day. Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
Right, and the thing is, even when you give her that much of the benefit of the doubt, you can still tackle her argument because, like the medical exception thing, when it endangers the life of the mother and the baby.
Yeah.
And
She
in
goes,
cases of incest,
Oh,
cases
and when
of rape,
she
like, there's
read
all
that
these
thing that somebody sent her, that was like, that was so stupid.
What about, they're like, oh, well, according to this, doctors recommend abortion because they know it's going to endanger your life.
Yeah, but
It's like,
she completely read the whole thing wrong because she thought it was saying the number was exaggerated, and it was talking about like.
She was like, yeah, they say it's inflated.
They-
But they say it's inflated. You were
Oh,
like,
thank
who?
you.
Who
Thank
says
you,
it's
AB.
inflated?
AB did.
I see he's
I would say it's
breathing
Rollo
heavy.
breathing heavily, yeah.
I would say it was maybe Rollo Tony Browntown, but didn't we learn that Rollo Tony hates her?
Oh, he blocked her. Wait, pull up that tweet.
Yeah, that tweet is so
Dude, she put out a
fucking
tweet.
funny.
She's
It's
like-
this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
She
Like,
can't even
hands
get
down.
Rollo Tony to like her.
She
You gotta
worship-
read this.
She
I feel like
worships
that's all
Rollo
she wants.
Tony, and
She
he
just
hates
wants
her.
men to like her.
Yes, and she's single. Her
Oh.
advice doesn't work by her own existence.
Something.
If her advice was good, she wouldn't be single. She'd be pregnant and married.
Here it is. Here it is. Okay, one second.
Hold on one sec. Hold on to that, Olivia. I want to show this tweet. This is the saddest explanation for Pearl, and it really sums up her whole vibe. Dan, where did you get it?
Sorry, I'm getting it from the WhatsApp right now.
Go ahead, Olivia.
Oh, yesterday while we were
Yeah.
watching a bunch of clips, I noticed that when she had Andrew Tate in the studio, she got all gussied up. She curled her hair. She was wearing
Really?
a pretty
Gross.
She curled her
dress.
hair?
Yeah, I thought it was so fun.
Gross.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Pearl was a little nervous. She was a little bashful.
Yeah, and
Cobra
you can
Tate was
see
in
how
the
she
studio.
gets like a lot more embellished in the way she talks when she goes off. Like, women are just so whiny.
Yeah.
Like she thinks she's doing a bit or something. Like she's.
But it's,
It's
like,
like-
how you can't argue with that.
It's like
okay.
she's got
be shopping.
material. She
Yeah,
thinks.
she is straight up women be lying, women be shopping.
Yeah.
Here's the tweet.
She said, even though Rollo Tomasi blocked me and talks shit about me every day, I still respect his work to no end. He's one of the best minds in Red Pill. Go watch Rollo's stream on Church. YouTube, The Rational Male Church. It'll come up. Changes your POV.
Oh
That's
my
some
God.
sad fucking
Is that
shit
not
or
the
what?
saddest
Yeah.
shit ever?
Yeah, so I don't know.
By the way,
There it is.
just we are posting these around the office right now.
Can you show those?
No, yeah, just so no employees over at Teddy Fresh or anything, think that he's supposed to be here or something.
He's not coming back, right?
I hope not.
As far as I know, he's left the premises. Is that right?
That's what I thought last.
Do we have confirmation?
Yeah,
Well,
Teddy
I guess
Fresh,
we did think that last
Teddy
time.
Fresh was freaking out. They thought he took the jacket with him.
How'd you get those back? You came back breathing pretty heavy, AB.
I've been running around, I think, for 10 minutes straight.
Chased him down like
yeah,
cops?
I chased him down. He was at the corner.
He's a fucking weirdo. He's just running like he doesn't have a car. He's just running in the street.
Yeah, he was running in the street with the jacket and a pile of sweaters.
What a fuck up. What a weirdo.
All right, I'll leave you guys to the greatest show.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Oh yes, the Lego the brick what's his name?
Brick Chef.
Brick Chef, yeah.
We showed it earlier, yeah.
We showed it. The racism stuff is
But I will
definitely
say,
really hard for her because she definitely seems like super racist. I mean, here she is talking about Nick Fuentes.
I did not find Nick to be racist. My staff actually did not find him to be racist.
Wait, he was... Okay, she says, I did not find Nick Fuentes to be racist. My staff did not find Nick Fuentes to be racist. Here is Nick Fuentes sitting right next to her saying this. Look at this shit.
I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist.
I know.
But listen, it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So, hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh,
Listen, this is the part that's fantastic.
hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Oh no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
Tell an
we're
Italian
big-
guy
we're big
about your
lovers.
affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
Good one, Nick.
Okay, now let's go back once again and see what she said about Nick.
On,
There's legal things going on.
Yeah, I have a video coming out about that. I did not find Nick to be racist. My staff actually did not find him to be racist.
Her staff. Did that woman look like she thought he wasn't racist to you?
Maybe some brajol. There's some Italian
No,
for
but
you.
I will make my black boyfriend some of that.
Ugh, wow. You don't know any better.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's
He's like the human embodiment of racism. He even says it himself. He's not racist. Everyone loved him. Yeah. So there it is. Hopefully I was able to pin her down on some things, expose that her convictions are about as thin as ice?
That'd
Thin
be
ice?
cold as ice.
Thin as a film of microwave that's on top of a glass of microwaved milk.
I did everything
You know when you
right
heat milk
and
and
they
there's a thin film on the top? You don't know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know about that.
You know about that?
me.
Yeah, so that's it. Is she tweeting or anything? She's got to be not happy about that.
Oh, you have to imagine she was or is.
I don't think it's a trap, though. My goodness.
You know what's funny, though? When I was looking through her Twitter during the show, I saw the Quartering and her have a beef. And the Quartering says, I deleted the invite for you to come on my show. I stand by everything I said. You fish for literal incels with insane takes, even the ones you don't believe.
Damn, even the Quartering's calling her a grifter. That's pretty bad.
You profit from the continued status of men. It's your whole model. Well,
Dude, is anybody like her?
Jeremy went woke.
The Fresh and Fit guys do. Am I right?
I guess, yeah. I guess maybe. Oh, I saw. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
maybe. I don't know. I doubt they like her. Let's be real. She should just be herself.
I think she's too hard on herself.
Well, yeah. If she
Give
thinks
herself
about if she thinks about herself like she thinks about all women, then yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
She rated herself a 5. That was like.
What that really hurt me to see her rate herself a 5.
Well,
I mean,
at
her
least
whole
it was
vibe-
consistent.
I know what you're saying, but it's just like whatever systemically is happening to where you're rating yourself as average and or below. That's what needs to be addressed.
She's straight up. Who wants to settle?
Yeah, literally, it's.
Who wants to settle? Which medium to low value man wants to come settle on me? It's such a fucked up way to view the world, man.
It's insane. Insane. I mean, the whole virgin thing too. It's just like, I mean, listen, I can only speak for myself, but that is not. Does anybody agree with me that is not a desirable trait, like at all?
Middle school.
Definitely.
I feel like having sex with a virgin can be pretty like.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty like traumatic maybe, or just stressful, or.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, no, and she said it herself. The only logical conclusion to draw from that is rooted in insecurity. Like you're afraid of being compared to some past partner that was better.
I'm glad she said that. And then she's like, "Yeah, they're insecure. So what?" I was like,
"Right.
So go to
Yeah.
therapy."
Yeah, I guess at least we found the middle ground on that one.
And the way she like objectively believes that all of this is true, where she was like, beauty literally like is objective. There
Men
has
only
to
want
be
22-year-olds.
To be happy, you have to have some sort of delusion. Like, let yourself believe that you're great,
Sound
and then
blue
maybe
pilled to me.
everything else will be great.
Mm-hmm.
Blue pill. Yeah, so that, I don't know what else to say, but men love MILFs. That completely, she couldn't deal with it. Men love MILFs.
As Martin said, who doesn't?
Who doesn't love a good MILF? This idea that every man is just looking for a perfect 22-year-old to marry is so...
A 20-year-old virgin.
A DILF? It's so weird.
That's a
Who are you
psychotic
talking
worldview.
about?
Yeah.
DILF? If you're a guy looking for a virgin, you're fucking a sick, twisted fucking weirdo. And society will judge you. Same with a 45-year-old guy plus who's dating a 22-year-old. You will be judged for being a weirdo because you are. And there it is.
And there it is.
Thank you, guys. How long have we been going for?
We've been going for 3 hours and 15 minutes. and
3 hours and
3
fif-
seconds.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Holy shit. That went by fast.
Wrap it up.
So wait, we did talk to her for a fair bit of time, I guess.
By the way, just did we mention the huge drop of gifted subbies that?
Oh no! Go ahead. Let's talk about our gift.
Our Saudi benefactor once again hitting us with, is it 200? I believe it's 200.
Thank you.
Gifted
man.
memberships.
And that's a gift for you guys, ultimately. That's so nice, and I'm so thankful. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
200.
And thank you to all of our members. We had a great members live stream yesterday talking about the one and only Colleen Ballinger. And I didn't want to talk about it on the main show, so I talked about it there. Although I heard some gossip that, and I'm not going to say from where I heard this, but okay, dude, I'm sorry, but there's some crazy ass tea coming out of this. Here, send this to me in Discord so I can show this. I'm gonna send it in.
Okay, what are you?
The Colleen
What
shit
is he cooking?
is pretty wild.
I'm gonna send it.
What is he cooking?
So the tea that I heard is that Trisha's gonna be making a statement about Colleen soon.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
It's in the Discord.
Here's the so this guy tweeting this. By the way, this is Oliver Tree. Dumbass.
Idiot.
Here is a tweet that's going viral. This is one of these. This is a guy who was in one of her little groups for kids. And so
the way you're talking about this, a lot of our viewers probably don't know what you're referring to.
Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings. I think people know about it. It's pretty big.
Okay.
She's being like utterly canceled right now because of basically really inappropriate relationships with kids, history of it, and yeah, there's a lot of people talking about it. And she just made a new podcast with Trisha, and so this guy who was one of these kids who was in one of these chat rooms with her tweeted this shit. Colleen and her friends subscribed to Trisha's OnlyFans. They would literally have little viewing parties just to body shame and make fun of her. They would invite her to their home and smile in her face while doing this behind their back. That's fucking really sad. Sorry, girl, but these are your friends, Trisha. Consider this info overshared. That's the name of their podcast. That's really sad. I feel bad for Trisha hearing that.
If that's true, that's really, really, really horrible.
I do genuinely believe that's true based on nothing.
Based on vibes.
Yeah, vibes is everything.
What are you, a woman?
This moment. There was another clip that people were sharing of.
Don't come for me, please.
Colleen saying that Trisha's a whale. I saw the videos.
Let's stop talking about this, Ethan. Let's wrap it up. It's been 3 hours.
I'm defending Trisha. I'm pro Trisha in this case.
Yeah. Didn't you just say you didn't want to talk about it on the main show?
I changed my mind.
There's the music.
Handcuffs any day of the week.
I want to find that. Okay, whatever. I did really want to talk about Bobby. Bobby's alt is so fucking amazing. Boblex's alt got leaked. We could talk about it on Friday, but it is amazing. It's so crazy.
Stop!
Dude, it's so crazy. I think this is worth saying. We thought about inviting him on the live show before this alt came out. What? What's wrong with that? We wanted to do a gag where he was in the audience. But we changed our mind.
Stop!
Why? But anyway, his alt is very funny. Danny's yelling at me. So anyway, his alt got leaked and it's crazy. This is probably the worst alt leak I've ever seen of anybody ever.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. Like, it couldn't be worse. We'll talk about it on Friday, though.
Sounds good.
I thought it'd be funny if he was in the audience and went, "Stop laughing at Sonic," or something. You know? Surprise cameo. It's not happening, though. And that was before the alt revelation. Super races. Super duper races.
Pre-alt era.
Pre-alt. P-A.
Yeah.
PA era. All right.
Slightly delayed.
I'm being played off. Thank you, everybody. It's been a treasure. It's been a treat. I want to thank everybody at the Academy, all my friends. I want to thank God. I want to thank my mom, my dad for always believing in me. I want to thank my wife, Hila, for always believing in me, always standing behind me.
Woo!
I want to thank my beautiful kids who have
Praise
always
Jesus.
supported me and have always believed in what I do.
That's
I want
right.
to thank my crew who stood by me in good and bad
Till the
times,
gates of hell.
putting their heart and soul into every episode. I want to thank the audience who has faithfully stayed with us.